And I think it says we're live. Hello, everyone. Oh, I just realized I set this up for a multi-stream, but I am not streaming on Twitch. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Today we have Mr. Commissar Kai. Thank you for joining. And we've also got, hey, it's the Gundam boy. There we go. Sorry, 1 second. Anyways, how you guys doing tonight? Thank you guys for coming on. Hell yeah. What about you, Gundam? What you got going on? Yeah, it's your turn. Oh shoot. Wait a second. Man, why is there always audio issues? Hold on. Okay, now they can hear you.
All right, go
Bro,
over.
every time I start a podcast, there's audio issues, bro. This is why I switched to regular OBS.
I don't know, man. That's the first thing I check every time I get my recording ready, because I got pressed last time I missed out on some audio.
Dude, the messed up thing is it's working fine before I hit go live. That's the actual messed up thing.
Audio delayed like H2.
All right. Anyways, I guess thank you, Kai, for coming on. How are you doing? What have you been up to?
I'm doing well. I've talked a lot about my PP, and now I'm working on something about game balance. So
okay, buddy. Okay, it's gonna be that type of night. and Gundam boy, you gotta do your thing again.
Hey, how's it going? It's the Gundam boy. Yeah, been pretty good. I've been working on my follow-up guide for actually using the mechs in combat. So that's what I've been cooking up on right now. Taking a break between that and playing Minecraft, just kind of like cruising on.
Do you ever help Robot Chicken and his brother and Red Monster? Robot Chicken? What's his name?
Yeah, no, Robot Pineapple.
Robot Pineapple. Hey, listen, I just woke up, I swear. I know Red Monster more.
Mm-hmm.
They're
identical twins. So,
if you know one, you know the other, sort of.
Dude, when I watched Robot Pineapple's video, I was like, holy shit, this is just Red Monster too.
Yeah, but like more shitposty.
True. Do you ever help them with their Minecraft maps?
No, I that's like all of them. Like they actually play like a crap ton of Minecraft and do the builds often. So I haven't played it in like years, and I was just like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna pass the time.
Yeah, they go hard.
They showed me around. They showed me their like Malevelon Creek. They showed me Super Earth, and they also showed me what they were working on for Oshaune too. It was pretty neat seeing like their process for it.
Oshag Hennessy.
Did they have the deep water? Because that's kind of important.
That was actually on there, yeah. The worst part being it's even worse than Minecraft, right? It's like a block of water you have to like wade through.
Mm.
How evil of them to put the Predator Stalkers there after the Rupture Strain got deleted. That was so funny. The amount of times I've watched people get caught in the water and then just get chainsawed by the Predator Stalkers. Yeah, they couldn't run.
That was a little evil.
It's good to bring up the Predator Stalkers because I think we're going to touch on that a bit today. So, Thank you guys for coming on. Hello, chat. Hello, everyone. Hello to all my Twitch viewers who had to come over to YouTube. Sorry, guys. But today we're going to do a podcast on a hot topic, as always been a hot topic, which is difficulty, which people always cry about, guys. It's always the fun slop divers versus the cry divers, right? Right, guys?
Yep, it's an eternal battle.
Eternal battle. It's going to last until the 41st millennia, I feel. But all my viewers know I always talk about ways to implement difficulty. Gundam Boy, you just posted a video very recently on the bases and whatnot. I watched that on stream. We all really loved that video. Because that's exactly what I want to see as well, is more unique bases and whatnot. And Kai, I think you have a video planned soon talking about this topic as well, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to come out this Saturday, but we're looking at stuff like it's going to be called Why Helldivers Can't Be More Difficult, and I'm going to talk about the reasons why like difficulty feels different for different people.
Okay. Well, I do feel that there is some common ground to be had, and that's what we're going to talk about today as well. Because I do think that there is like some sort of like good versus bad difficulty, but why don't we start off with just definitions? Okay, so like what is difficulty? Obviously, we don't need the flat out definition. But what I want to ask is like, when you're playing a hard game, or if you're a dev making a hard game, what are you trying to achieve realistically with difficulty? What kind of feelings and emotions are you trying to achieve, and maybe what sort of play style do you want people to play? So, either of you got an answer for that?
Yeah, actually, this is something I'm going to talk about, but I think difficulty is like, as your players play the game more, they get better at it, right? This is even true for people that like play on level 7s and stuff. They're a lot better than when they started. So like difficulty is keeping them continuously engaged by keeping the challenge relative to their skill level, you know? And I think that's a problem that like us YouTubers run into is we play this game for a living. So like the difficulty is just not hard enough, but like if they catered to us, it would just overwhelm the lower difficulties. So like, you know, the lower levels in Helldivers. So yeah, matching that ability to the experience is what I think creates like optimum difficulty.
Okay, so you are saying to keep people engaged long term.
Yeah, I think so.
I like how you also mentioned matching the skill level. What did you say exactly? Matching what to what? Sorry.
You have to match player ability to the difficulty level. So like if you're really good, you need something that's really hard. If you're just kind of good, you need something that's kind of hard.
Yeah, that's also really good to hear as well, because there's this semi-popular YouTube video from like a long time ago, which was how to achieve flow state, and it said the same exact thing.
Yeah, I actually have one of my people is a game designer. That's what he went to school for. So him and I have had a lot of conversations about this because it's a problem we really want to solve. And, you know, like if you want to influence a game, YouTube is a fairly good way to do it. You get people talking about a topic. So like, I think we all want the game to be better. And the only way to get it better is to voice these opinions, you know, to make them well known, get the conversations going.
All right, Gundam Boy, do you want the game to be more difficult?
See, for me, when it comes to difficulty, it's harder for me to kind of wrap my head around it. Not mainly for me, but like when I try to apply that to other people, because I play a lot of games with other people on my team, and on the Rupture Strain, you know, yeah, they had a lot of wacky things going for it, but I didn't feel like I was struggling for that most of that time, right? It didn't feel difficult for me, but that's because I play the game so much that my skill level is probably much higher than like an average person who's playing. So my team was getting overwhelmed and overexhausted. And it's like, how do I like put this in a way to those people to like explain it in my videos to help them out, right? So difficulty for me has been a interesting thing to look at, because where I would see something to be not a challenge, it may be a challenge for others. And I've come from a background where I played a lot of Souls-like games where it's a lot of like, there's a difficulty and you have to match it. So
yeah, I think, like same, like small parry windows.
Yeah. So say like Star Scourge Radon, the first time he was bugged out, he had a major hitbox problem, and I just matched his freak. Some people can't match that freak, right? So it's like, where do you put the difficulty for people who are like the majority versus the people who are like, you know, the chronic gamer, right?
Okay, but why don't we ask for you personally do you prefer super high difficulty? Like what do you not like? What do you want?
I guess I would prefer like a harder difficulty, more challenge. Because again, a lot of the challenge goes away with your engagement. So the more you fight on a front, the more you familiarize yourself with those enemies, and that challenge goes away, and it's more of a factor. Like it's like, oh, it takes this many shots to get rid of this enemy, or it takes this much firepower to clear a base. And I think that takes the challenge away, is because you know what you're going up against now. And that was kind of like the focus of that one video that I put out about the bases needing to change, because you can practically throw one thing in and just completely annihilate it, right?
Yeah.
The challenge is gone. There's a million ways to like gut a cow on that front. Sorry, butter knife cow jokes. And yeah, I think it could use some more challenge, but that challenge still needs to like match those players that are coming in, like newer players, right?
Well, it's like, okay, y'all play games where like they have a difficulty slider where it's like, medium, hard, extra hard, and then when you put it on extra hard, all it does is make the enemies like crazy tanky and nerf your health.
Bullet sponges and armor.
Balancing, right? Like that is just ass. Nobody wants that. But like you can implement difficulty in a game like Helldivers a lot of different ways. Like this is something that always kind of bugs me, is that like people look at like primary weapons and say they're too weak, which makes the game harder or, feel less smooth or whatever. But like, where's the like stalker patrols, like, why don't we have more like dynamic challenges that like when you're a veteran player, they're not that intimidating, but they add an extra layer of something for you to think about. That's what I want.
Because it is as Arrowhead tries to stage this game as like a war, but it doesn't feel like it's evolving naturally as combat would. You know what I mean? Enemy
it
creates
feels
something.
Like we keep getting stronger, but
that's what I said.
Getting weaker.
That's my exact thought. We have a nuke bag. I can run in there and blow up everything.
Yeah,
and there goes the challenge, right?
Oh, like gunship fabs, dude. I have such a fucking problem with them because like. Like it wasn't fun when they could ragdoll you infinitely and then like infinite of them that could spawn and then you're just screwed. But like I stood in front of a gunship fab for 3 minutes.
Yes. They don't do anything.
And they just don't do anything. And then like when they do spawn, they're just really inaccurate. They're a fucking joke.
Honestly,
I had to piss off an automaton trooper to get it to spawn.
Yeah. It's because they work off of like the new stealth update or whatever. You have to trigger another enemy nearby it or within range of it. I think the original problem with gunships was it was a freaking flying anti-tank. Essentially, I think the Scorcher could kill it, but that was about it at the time when they first came out. Yeah, they were like 100% durable, and it's like the main issue with that is there's such a limited amount of tools that are actually good against it, mainly stratagem weapons. And then since there were so many of them, you were at least guaranteed to usually die once. And then it leads you into death spiraling, because it's like, oh, how do I get back to my support weapon with 18 gunships flying at me? Yeah. Like, don't you think you could handle 18 gunships in the air now compared to when they launched?
Flak mode AC, like flak mode autocannon, they're all dead.
Even just a numerous amount of things. Even if you had a frickin' adjudicator, and like maybe you could spray down 3 so that you can get back to your support weapon.
The accelerator rifle would be enough at this point. Like they're just not that hard.
Well, especially because they run out of rockets, so like sentries can kill them really easily now. There's a lot of things that have changed that make them easier to kill rather than just their stats. I mean, like, yeah, I agree. They were way too tanky when they came out, but like, if the way they are now, there's no reason for them to be capped at like 4, Yeah.
It sucks. Well, I think at first it was the trifecta. It was way too tanky, way too many, and way too little ways to deal with them. So it's like, the thing is, there was 3 overwhelming kind of 3 sort of like unfair things about them, right? But it's like, you can't have that many unfair things. You have to limit it down. But they got rid of all 3 unfair reasons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like now they have just no strengths.
Like I think with the way they were initially designed, that would have been a better idea for like a heavy flying weapon. You know what I mean? But you put all of that power into one giant slow thing. But
like a little fast carrier or something.
Yeah, like some kind of giant automaton heavy fighter. But like with the way those gunships were, they would catch you no matter where you'd hide. no matter where you ran, no matter what you tried to do, and that's when you'd see those death loops with people.
Yeah.
Well, you see, like my beef with them is that like I really want people to play this game as a team because I find that to be the most fun. And when you have an objective that is difficult, as in like if we don't kill that gunship fab, we're gonna be screwed. It makes everyone coalesce on the gunship fab. So like you get everyone together, right? And the only objective I can think of that does that right now is Stalker Layers. Nothing else requires like gives people that like oh shit moment where it's like that's a thing we have to deal with.
You know, one thing I noticed
raised.
about the Stalker Lair from Oshag Hennessy, the one on Oshak doesn't spawn the scavenger hole or the pouncer hole, and so it just spawns way more stalkers.
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah. There's some cases where there's like 8 of them. They all like uncamouflaged in front of me. I was getting jumped.
I want those moments where I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna die. You know, like you turn around, there's 8 stalkers there. Like that's fun. It's difficult, but it's fun.
I think it's just like that. That's always an enemy where like my eyebrows will raise, right? When you hear them chittering in the fog. It's just like they're like, oh, there's stalkers.
Yeah. Okay, so from this brief conversation, I would say that difficulty probably has to exist in a video game. Like if you just walk through a video game, no challenge, there's like no reason for you to keep playing. And then on top of that, it can also promote teamwork. There's definitely obvious benefits to difficulty. However, in the Helldivers community, anytime you want to talk about difficulty, it has like a negative association. And it's probably because we don't like a lot of I would say the community at least doesn't like a lot of the difficulty that they have made, like the trifecta gunship layers at the start of the game. But like now they're gutted completely, right? So where was I going with this? Kai?
Oh, dude, I just think that this is like a symptom of Arrowhead being terrified of trying new stuff. You know, like when gunship fabs came out, they were broken. They needed to be fixed. Like they were too tanky, etc. But like instead of trying to find that sweet spot, they just threw their hands up and they're like, screw it, they're just nothing now. And that's what they consistently do. You know, like they just consistently make stuff that was hard way too easy. And then they don't like try to buff it back up to find that comfort level. But I do think a lot of this starts because the game doesn't teach you shit about how to overcome challenges. Like I show this in the tutorial, but like in the tutorial, there's a part where it says it's just you, your gun, and 5,000 megatons of ordnance in orbit. Like it doesn't mention the fact that like if you all just group up together, it's super easy to clear anything. Like one of my favorite things to do right now is I get a group of total noobs and I bring the flag and I tell them, if you cannot see my flag, you will see my senator. And that gets them all to stick together. And then when they do that, it doesn't matter what they brought. They can just clear everything. And then from there, I'll put the flag away once they've learned that lesson, you know? So like,
that would be like a really good tutorial mission. You have like an NPC who's like, if you don't follow the flag, you'll see my senator.
Yeah, dude, just put me in there.
Bro, Kai should be the tutorial boss.
Yeah. My name's Commissar Kai. I'm about to teach you how to cooperate.
Yeah, dude, like in the tutorial, they don't even teach you that like if you have 2 people with peacemakers, you can kill a Hulk easily, right? You just have one person bait them, the other person shoots them in the back. They don't teach you anything. And I think that's because the game started as like a Tarkov thing, where like that's part of the appeal. You know, you jump in, you're hardcore, you want to learn all the processes. But with casual players, they don't want to do that. They want to be told what to do. So things like, you know, better tutorial or a bestiary would go a long way in letting us have more difficult challenges. Because then like the noobs and the regular people could actually figure it out.
Well said, well said. So I think also to tie on to to segue from the tutorial, I also think the lower difficulties aren't exactly scaled properly. So not to say level 7, I don't play much level 7, but not to say that level 7 is like not challenging or easy enough, but I feel one really good form of difficulty I've seen, I love, is my favorite in the game, is the Predator strain. You guys agree or disagree?
Yeah, definitely agree.
Okay. Oh, I love fighting the Predators.
Right.
So when the Predators first came out in like February, this was at a time in Helldivers when I feel like there were less new players and everybody loved it. And then when I think after Super Earth and then after the Xbox people joined, I would see a lot of Reddit complaints about Predator strain.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's because it's difficult, right? Well, here's the thing though. If you load into a level 5 kill a Bile Titan mission, and I have done this, and it happens to be on a Predator strain planet, every single hunter is a Predator hunter, and on top of that, there are Predator stalkers down on level 5. So I feel that, the game doesn't teach you in the tutorial like you mentioned, but also there's not a clear gradient up the levels of difficulty. So like one thing I would say specifically is on level 7 or level 5, maybe only 30% of the hunters should be Predator hunters. Because a Predator hunter is a strict, difficult version of the regular hunter. It's literally a little bit tankier, no leap cooldown, does more damage, has the acid spit attack, can turn invisible. So like, yeah, that's what I would say. Because when they change things for like level 10, it can often impact the lower difficulties dramatically.
No, it's the same thing with like freaking flesh mobs on level 1s. Like, why are they there?
Yeah, and the dragon. Yeah,
Evil.
You just reminded me. And the dragon roaches on the level 5 missions was crazy.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, and the weird thing is they already do this. Like, bile spewers on level 5 don't have medium armor. So, like, I don't see why they can't, like, adjust the enemies a little bit. I mean, hell, you can just make the Predator Stalkers a little slower. You can scale this. And I don't know if it's like a behind the scenes thing where, like, if they change that, then, like, everyone hard locks and the game explodes or whatever. But, like,
probably
you'd think that would be a fairly easy thing to adjust considering they already do it. Like, warriors also have less health pre-level 6.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me feel like it was kind of an afterthought. Like, it was designed and then it was put there, but they didn't really think about how that would affect lower level players, right? Because that is all weird things. Dragon Roach, Predator Stalkers, and Flesh Mobs on lower difficulties.
Here's another thing. With the lack of information, like, if you go into a Predator strain mission and you bring your recoilless rifle and your thermite grenades, you're going to get run over if you're a noob. You just don't know that, like, you're almost never going to encounter a Bile Titan or a Charger.
Well, because the icon can only say so much about, like, it just says Predator Stalker or Predator strain on this planet. But, like, for a new person, they're like, I don't know what that means. Dives down, gets mobbed, and then get angry, right?
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. If they added like a bestiary where they had like Predator strain, this strain is very fast, but very weak to like high-powered light pin weapons. Like bring the Stalwart and a Punisher shotgun. Just like give them something so that they understand that, like, oh, you have to bring different
kind of like a tool tip kind of thing. Like, do they even do that for like on the planet where it has their banner? Does it say anything about them? Because
no.
that doesn't help people.
It doesn't. But you see, like, the Helldivers can't read, right? This is why absolutely. I explain things with crayons. But, like, if there was, the screen I stand in front of in all my videos.
Do you have any drawings?
I have a bunch of them in the next one. Hang on, let me see
keep going. Yeah. Send me some, but keep going.
Yeah. So, like, but if they had a bestiary that, like, explained each of the factions a little bit, or even, like, the seeds, right? Like, this mission type has an abundance of War Striders. Make sure you bring anti-tank. Like, that would help ease the feeling of difficulty for lower levels, but higher level people already know that. We already know what all the seeds are. But, like, if you gave people this information, they could get better at the game. Like, dude, when I play with noobs and I look at their loadouts, they suck. Like, the loadout just has no synergy in it at all. They just cobble together a bunch of random bullshit because the game doesn't explain any of this to you. All right, here, I'm going to go find one of those drawings.
Yeah, I feel like in terms of in terms of sucky loadouts for noobs, that's like a normal thing, right? When you first start a game. But I get what you mean, like sort of the off ramp from tutorial to at least level 7, I feel like should be better. So let's see, where do we segue now? I have an interesting topic is what impact on difficulty do you guys think weapon balance has?
Honestly, I think it has very little to deal with it. I mean, I know that's like a spicy opinion, but like there's like scales to weapons that are powerful. So like if you are getting overwhelmed, bring something like the crossbow or the plasma punisher or something like that. Something that like keeps space between you and the
Did
enemies.
you just recommend the crossbow? Who are you?
I did. I know it pained me, dude. I physically cringed when I said it. But like because like there's some weapons that are clearly just stronger than others, like you can kind of gravitate towards like what's easy. That is not a healthy thing for the game, but like I think like if you gave the Liberator, you removed the durability changes and you just gave it more damage and a faster reload and, more ammo, I don't think it would help the people on level 7s that are struggling. I think the gun would feel better, but I think they'd still struggle because, again, the lack of information. So, like, I do think it's like a good quality of life thing that can kind of make the game feel like a little smoother to play. But, like, I don't think it does much to help people, like, actually overcome challenge.
Bro, I just got to say real quick, I love that you said give the Liberator a faster reload and more ammo. That's literally what I've been asking for like forever.
Yeah, dude, you said something I really liked a while back, but you said like if a gun has to have siege ready to feel good, it just needs a buff to ammo and reload speed. Like I definitely agree.
Yeah. Like I feel like definitely the light pen, assault rifles, SMGs, and shotguns. Almost all of them need it. The light pen,
SMG in particular, yeah, dude.
It's rough. The light pen, ballistic, no extra effect. So like all the ones, no stagger, no fire, no stun. Like those all basically just need siege ready, like as the base effect.
Yeah, or even just like small little things like the Defender. That gun is the worst in the game for a lot of things. It's okay at certain things, but like it's pretty bad. But like if you just cranked up the RPM, it would be better,
I think if it had like giga fast reload speed so that you can just like keep running and gunning with it nonstop. Maybe it needs RPM though, you're right.
I mean, both would be good, like there's these things would like that way you could keep the drag change and it's just now it's a close range weapon, but it's really good at close range. That is
the main thing I don't like about the Defender is like when I think of an SMG, I do not think of the Defender. I think of the Knight. Yeah. I think of literally anything else.
That's because it's bad. Relative. Well, it's because, like, think about it. The Knight has crazy fast fire rate, and it has a big magazine. So, like, it adds what the Defender needs, so it feels better.
So, yeah, no, that's totally fair. I feel like, because, I mean, I do a lot of weapon guides, but I feel like they don't make it that much easier. It's just a matter of, like, bring the proper tools for the proper enemy, right?
Yeah,
like my personal opinion, that's how I feel towards most of the weapons. Like you can take a Liberator and go on whatever planet you feel like, but if it's feeling like you're struggling up against a certain enemy, there's other weapons in the list that you could use, right? Like if this like the shotgun, it's like, oh, maybe you want that extra bit of dot damage, you would probably have taken like the cookout, right, or something else like that. It's like for general like horde clearing, there's other weapons that you could use if the Liberator doesn't feel like it's doing that for you.
You see, Gunham, that's what I'm saying, though, is like the game does not tell you that. Like, if you go play with random noobs, like, none of them do this. They'll bring the recoilless rifle, thermite grenades, a 500 kg, an orbital precision strike, and an eruptor, and then they'll be like, why did I lose against the Predator Train?
I've caught people multiple times who are like, oh, the Deadeye's not bad on the Predator strain on level 10. I was just like, you're going to be really relying on your accuracy if you bring that. And he was like, I'll be good. And he was getting mobbed the entire time because the only other thing he had was his grenade pistol. So it was difficult for him because he didn't think to bring supporting weapons for that. So it was a very similar situation to the recoilless and assault rifle. And then it wasn't thought out. But
yeah, it's weird because
that's like easily curbed with like just knowing what you're doing, right? What you're going up against.
And again, a bestiary or like a testing zone would be good for this. Like
I think the fact that we're in space above the battlefield right before we're about to drop in, you think we would get some kind of like telemetry data about what's going to be on the ground? Because I think what really pisses me off on the bot front is not knowing when it's going to be War Striders. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. And
I don't mind War Striders anymore.
Oh no, I don't mind them, but I brought the HMG one time when I joined an SOS, and I was just like, fuck, because there was like 5 of them, and I was just having to like stun them, go underneath, and shoot them in their cack. It was fun.
Yeah, but Thick, you get what we're saying. Like, if you knew that there were War Striders, you would be able to like cater your loadout.
Yeah, for sure. So I do feel like it's worth saying that you mentioned like, if you bring the Deadeye on Predator Strain, you're going to have a way tougher time. So that does go to, I feel like, say that, if the guns were balanced lower, then the difficulty would be higher. But I do feel like what you said specifically was you will have a bad time. So it's like, I do feel like that technically is a lever of difficulty, but it's like one that never feels good, I feel.
Yeah. It's one that's like, you the entire mission, you feel like, I should have brought something else. Yeah. That's a common thought that I've had personally. I'm like, man, I really wish I had the slugger right now for all these charging ass enemies at me. It's like I didn't have that match.
Well, dude, it's okay for certain guns to only be good against certain factions. That's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But like, look, I love my M90A. I was not bullshitting in that video. I do love it. But if you bring it on a Hive Guard seed, it sucks. It's a miserable time, right? But if you bring it against the Predator Strain, I think everybody can agree, it's stupid good, right? So like, that's okay. Yeah, it's stupid fun too. But like, if you bring the wrong tool on the wrong mission, it's gonna suck. It's gonna feel harder, but like, it's like that bullet sponge harder. It's like this artificial difficulty that feels self-inflicted, which makes you feel bad because it makes you feel like you made a mistake, which you did. But like, how the fuck would you know? Because the game doesn't tell you that.
This is where that knowledge comes into play for a good portion of weapons, and I think that's why the difficulty only matters. It matters very little when it comes to the weapons, because I was using the AMR on the bug front, and when you're using something like the AMR, you would kind of treat it like how it is. You use it at extended ranges, right? So I was focusing on specifically Brood Commanders because I had a feeling it was going to be a Brood spam mission, and I played with the AMR as you would play as a real sniper, but that requires that level of like thinking. Not everybody knows to use the AMR at extended range. Some people just want to run in and quickscope everything.
Well, I could give people a little credit. I could say like you could kind of intuit that out, like this is supposed to be a sniper rifle. But like, if you bring the AMR, you're like, I'm going to bring the AMR against bugs, and then you drop into a mission and it's a hunter seed. Like, you're just it's just gonna suck.
Oops, it's all hunters. Hey, at least it's Hive Guards, though. It's basically easy pickings.
All right, let's get a specific example from the recent patch. Warriors became more durable. Okay. I'm not asking you guys if this was good or bad. I'm asking you guys, before you played the patch and after you played the patch, how much of a difference did you even actually notice?
None.
Very little. Nothing, actually. I mean, only for certain weapons like the Diligence, it feels weird, but for like all the guns that we do have access to right now, it was very it wasn't noticeable at all for me.
Like, the first thing I tried was the Liberator, because that seemed what they were targeting, and I was like, the gun feels great, feels a little better than it does. But then I went and tried the Defender, and I was like, oh god, this feels horrible. So like, but that durability change, like, I don't know, I don't like it. I didn't really notice it, but like, I just feel like it's kind of the wrong direction, because it is kind of just make the enemy more bullet spongy. But like, my only counter thought to that was that like Warriors before, like, legitimately, would y'all have noticed if the regular ass vanilla Warrior was just gone from the game?
Yes.
No?
I don't think I would, dude. Like, they don't have a
You
role.
don't think Warriors are deadly, bro?
No, Alpha Warriors, yes.
Alpha, okay.
No. Yeah, the regular variety.
To be fair, though, I would say that the regular Warrior is just the regular chaff enemy, though. And the Alpha Warrior is only available on Diff 8 and up.
But is that a
It's-
good thing? Because, like, dude, like hunters and pouncers, they're chaff too, right? But they feel more engaging to fight because they have.
I'm more
like,
scared of a
oh,
hunter than I am of a warrior. I'm gonna be honest, because
Low key, I'm more scared of warriors.
Really, I feel like they're just so big and slow that by the time you pick off all the hunters,
Bro, they have a long
they're
reach
next,
on their
right?
swipe.
Yeah,
Okay, maybe I mean like an alpha warrior though.
You're talking
Alpha warriors. No, Alpha warriors are scary, dog.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but also warriors like the normal chaff enemy, and they low key can 2-tap you if you're wearing light armor, and like 3-tap you. I think even in heavy armor, or maybe it's 4 in heavy. I don't know.
Like I think I would notice it in the sense of like it's kind of like if you took the voteless away on the Illuminate front.
No. Y'all are missing what I'm saying. Like, if the regular warrior was replaced with all alpha warriors or all
Oh,
bio
well, yeah.
warriors,
Okay, that's different.
Oh, okay.
wouldn't
No,
know.
that's completely different.
yeah,
Well,
regular
I don't know
warrior
about-
is completely useless.
I don't know about bio warrior, but I would say alpha warrior would be fun.
Yeah, I mean, bio warriors are okay because like they have the gimmick of like you don't really want to kill them at close range because they can blow up and hurt you. But like a regular warrior, you just punch it to death. It's fucking.
What about
useless.
Spore Burst warriors, guys?
That's what I'm
Well,
talking about.
but also any single enemy on its own, you could freaking punch to death. But like, what about a swarm of 10 warriors who are 5 meters from you? That's not a little bit scary?
Well, it's just like if I replace that with like any other enemy that I'm thinking of, I think that's like the least threatening. Maybe Hive Guard are less threatening because they just can't catch up to you. But like
Regular
they just
scavengers.
regular scavengers can break your legs with a bite, and they also
little
can
ankle
run.
biters.
They can run as fast as you can walk, or like they run faster than you can walk, so you can't just walk away from them.
Bro,
it's like when
I wear heavy armor too, and the regular warrior, when every time I dive away from it, it hits my leg and breaks it.
I just think of like when a bug breach
You can
happens,
juke them. You can juke them.
The first enemy that catches you when a bug breach happens is usually like the light chaff. Then if there's like a charger, maybe he like slams through everybody. But then usually like I feel like the warriors are usually like the last of that chaff group to catch up to you. I feel like I've gotten caught more often by bile spewers than like a group of warriors ever will.
I can't even.
Oh, here, let me wrap this back to what I was saying because like my point was that like making them a little more durable. Like I don't think the durability change should have applied to all warriors. That was dumb. But like if it just applied to the regular vanilla warrior, I do think that would give it a little bit more of an identity. This one's the tanky one. This one's the explodey one. This one's the fast and deadly one. You know,
This is the digging one.
yeah, this is the digging one.
The
Like,
spore warriors were
1,000%
already
more fog
durable.
one.
true. I mean, like, but they're only on gloom planets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like I would look at that kind of like the Predator strain, where it's like you're going onto a gloom world, so like you would expect tankier warriors.
Yeah.
Whereas like on a regular planet, they're just there. They're just useless. I hate them.
Personally, I feel
Step
Personally, I feel there is just like a baseline chaff enemy, though, in all games. That's not necessarily the most threatening thing. They're kind of there to be a distraction for other threatening things to get you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think Warrior needs a buff at all from what it was. Like, I don't know.
think
You
did
also...
either. I'm playing devil's advocate here.
That's
I'm
fair,
trying
that's
to
fair.
trying to look at it from all the angles.
Yeah, that's fair.
They're the ammo checker.
Yeah. It's like I don't know. Sometimes you gotta have enemies that just feel good to shoot as well as you're playing the
They
game.
definitely fit that. They definitely fit that combat role. where
Popping
it's
off
like,
their heads is fun.
they're
If
kinda
they
like
were
their
all alpha
basic
warriors,
warrior.
though, or if there was like a modifier for that, I would definitely not complain.
Oh,
That
yeah.
would be cool.
Yeah, I'll throw that in there. I would definitely not complain if there was like this mission replaces all warriors with alpha warriors.
Actually, that's something with what Gundam Boy said earlier. If we could see seeds, they could do modifiers like that rather than having it be like your stratagems take longer to come down. It could be like all warriors are alpha warriors.
Yeah,
that would be,
it should
that would be
be.
fun.
Yeah, it should be.
Imagine a planet on the bot front. It's all like heavy weapons. It's like, even more anti-tank. There's annihilator tanks everywhere.
Dude, they can make like they'd be like tank convoys, so you get like 5 of them that just spawn and roam the map.
Oh man, that'd be a really cool patrol, actually.
Yeah, see,
A
this
mixed
would
tank
also help.
convoy.
Dude, it would help because, like, if you're a regular person playing the game, you could see that as a modifier and then decide whether you want to do it or not. You know, it's kind of like when you see, like, the spore map. Like, I fucking hate that modifier when, you can't see where everything is. It's useless. It's annoying. But, like, if they did this, they could turn that into something cool. Maybe this is the only plant or seed where you can't tell what you're about to fight because we can't see on the ground. Like there'd be a lot more room to make the game harder without making it less fun or making the enemies more bullet spongy or making us weaker. Just give us different challenges. Yeah,
for sure. I think that we can spin that back around to the original point I was saying was the warrior durability changes. Like, I feel like they only made specific guns feel worse, like diligence, not being able to one tap them anymore. But it didn't really add to the difficulty. And like you said, if they made a Oops All Alpha Warriors modifier, that would be way more noticeable in terms of high difficulty. So,
yeah,
I'm just kind of leaning towards that. I feel like weapon balance is, of course, it's there and it is a lever and you should be mindful of it. But like, crossbows, the best gun in the game, right? Or a Ruptor or something like that. Okay, well, how good would those guns be on Oops All Alpha Warriors?
Yeah, it'd be
harder.
What
do you think? It would be way harder.
Exactly. That's why, like, the Predator Strain is cool, because those typical weapons you'd reach for aren't as good. Which is
crossbow users were blowing up so often on the first day of those Predator Stalkers. They got in their face and they panicked and blew themselves up.
Yeah. So personally, I label weapon balance as like, oh, well, if we had an AP-12 Stalwart that did 1,000 damage per bullet, okay, yeah, the game would be piss easy. But it's like, or that's the most extreme example. But it's like, even the crossbow feels balanced if you're on the right enemy seed. It definitely could feel crazy on, other places as well. But I don't think it's the top lever to pull personally.
I think it actually should be like the last lever you pull. Like that. It needs to be an option, and this is something I talk about in the video. Where, like, I think as a community we got to be okay with nerfs sometimes, because like it would let them make stronger stuff, and then they could nerf it down into reasonability. But like, that lever of buffing a weapon, I think it should only or buffing or nerfing a weapon should only be done to really make it feel better. Like buffing the reload speed of ARs. That wouldn't really make them that much stronger. It would just make them feel more reliable.
Yeah.
And feel better.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's, fills your needs. You don't feel like you're fighting your gun and the enemy.
I feel like there's this thing in Helldivers that I think the devs don't account for, is how often your reload gets interrupted. Like, when you go to reload and, like, I don't know, a scavenger hits your leg, or you go to reload and then you have to dive away, or you go to reload and you walk over a pebble wrong. And it's just like, you gotta smash the reload button again. So it's like, I feel like some of the reload speeds are, like, balanced without any of that in mind. At least for some of the weapons. I feel like even they could add something where it's like SMGs or ARs could dive while reloading, while, like, other guns can't.
Yeah, that's a factor they could definitely consider. I do think, like, if you just, made them feel a little better to reload, like, give Siege Ready to all the weapons that need it, you would notice that less because you're reloading faster. Like, I don't think that needs to be, like, removed or anything, but it's definitely like it's one of those little headaches that pops up because the gun doesn't feel great to use, know?
All right, segueing into enemy balance. So we talked about weapon balance. I think Helldivers is a horde shooter. Some people might disagree, but I say make the shoot feel shooty and make the horde feel hordy. So I don't know if you guys saw one of my videos a while ago where I showed screenshots of kill counts from a year ago. Like, do you guys remember the amount of enemies we would kill a year ago? We would have, like, end screens where it's like 2 people have over 1,000 kills, and then, like, one dude has 800, and then maybe the last dude's got, like, 500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kill counts now are just gone. like across the
I'm not
board.
sure. I'm not sure if that's like I'm saying as I genuinely don't know if that was they had to reduce it because the game was breaking, or if it was like an intentional move. If it was intentional, it was stupid because like obviously the game is a horde shooter, but it is a co-op horde shooter, which is I think something that kind of gets left out of the details a lot. So like if we add more enemies, it's another reason to stick with your team. So there's a lot of stuff that gets helped with that.
Yeah, I think in terms of performance, it's possibly something they turned down for performance. I think it's reasonable that some enemies are also laggier than others. So, like, I think 100 or like 50, even like 20 or 50 Bile Titans would probably insta-crash the game. But obviously, like 100 Hunters probably wouldn't. And then also with some of the new enemies as well, I'm curious about, like, how laggy are Rocket Striders? Because about the time they got added is when the spawn counts went down. Or Barrager tanks, or possibly Impalers.
Oh, you know what? That makes me think. What if stuff like Rocket Striders eat up more of the like amount of enemies that can spawn on a map? Like I'm sure they have weights to them.
Yeah.
Like, you remember when the Impaler thing was going on when there was like shitloads of Impalers everywhere? It was that major order?
Yeah.
I remember when that was happening, I didn't see a lot of other enemies, which made me think it was weighted,
Yeah, I agree.
Which makes you wonder, because that's how, like, isn't there like Rocket Scout Strider seeds? I feel like there's been missions on the bot front I've played where there's like a lot of them, and it felt like I was trying to get stuff for a video, and I couldn't find a normal Devastator in the mass of like Rocket Scout Striders standing at random objectives and POIs. So yeah, maybe they do have some sort of like performance thing, because I would notice right before they fire their rocket, that little like visual effect they have would really slow it down, and then when they would fire it and when it would hit something, oh boy, the performance got funky there. And now imagine like 5 of them doing that.
Exactly, dude. And also, like back in the day when we had the crazy spawns, we didn't have all these new enemies. So like
yeah,
that's my suspicion, is that it's weighted weird.
Yeah,
maybe it could be either. Also, whenever they did some of those optimizations with how bots explosions are, I think, I gained like a lot of FPS on the bot missions after that. And the game wasn't auto-crashing when I was shooting down dropships anymore.
Oh, dude, that's because like Rocket Devastators still do this, and they didn't used to. When you kill a Rocket Devastator, all their parts explode.
Yeah, like their back breaks off at 2.
Yeah, it's weird. That did not used to happen. So, like, there's definitely some particle crap going on that was causing performance. And that's still in the game, but I imagine it's true for a lot of the enemies.
Did they have to change the eyes as, like, a particle to something else?
No, I think a particle is way worse than just, like, a mesh.
It's a shader. Yeah, they changed it to a shader.
And I was just like, what do you mean it was set like that?
Yeah.
The bots were pretty laggy. You know what I mean? When there was like a bunch of their eyes looking at you.
But Gundam Boy, the cool eye glow.
Oh!
Yeah, so I want to talk about enemies more, but Crazy Mage with the $5 says, hi, do me a favor, like the stream, because this is cool. Thank you, Crazy Mage, for the $5. Can we throw up some W's and throw some likes on the stream, boys?
Hell yeah, Crazy Mage.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right, so more on enemies, though. I want to talk about the way enemies reinforce. Because, I don't know. This is like a multi-subject sort of thing. Because we are going to talk about more complex objectives. So I guess first I should say the mission I feel the most overwhelmed on, that's not just a regular mission, is Repel Invasion on the Illuminate. You guys know the one?
Is that still in the game?
Only on Illuminate defense.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah.
It's like that the alternate blitz.
Crazy.
So I feel like
crazy.
I feel like the enemies are constantly surrounding you on that mission. The way they spawn in.
Oh yeah.
I have a theory on that, because on that one, all the clams are already there, right? Like the warp ships, they come down and then you have to fight through them. Warp ships seem to spawn way more enemies than other spawners for some reason. I can't like confirm that, but this is a gut feeling I've had for a long time, and I think
They
it's
definitely do.
And they also adjusted it to spawn not just voteless,
Overseers,
but overseers can spawn from it now, which make it even more erratic on the battlefield.
Yeah, and that's definitely contributing to the whole thing because, like, I don't know, like bug breaches and bot drops feel like a joke after so many hours of playing the game because, like, you know where they're gonna come from.
Yes.
You know? Like,
because they just come down.
Yeah,
or like wherever it is. But there's a big difference between that and the way Repel Invasion spawns enemies.
Yeah, and it's because
you're talking about like the way that
actually like trying to murder you. You know,
well, the just the fact they're coming from multiple angles as well, Gundam.
Like an invasion, they're just like they just start swarming the planet like bees.
So yeah, to mix this in with the more complex objectives, basically, I had an idea where it's like, add a modifier for failable objectives. I don't know how well this would work on the lower difficulties. I'm sure you could just up the health pools of the objectives themselves on lower difficulty. But on like Diff 10, when you call in a nuke, when the nuke comes out of the ground, it's destroyable by enemies. And then they also call in reinforcements so that they are trying to come onto the nuke from like 3 or 4 different angles.
Yeah. Like they're detecting it. Like that would make it feel very more, there'd be more realism in the like how an enemy would react. It's like, oh, we're detecting a missile surfacing, right? Like on the bot front.
Yeah.
So they would, actively respond. I like that idea. That's a pretty fun one. And it causes a lot of tremors. It makes the bugs angry. That's a pretty fun one.
Also, it would force teamwork because if you're in a 4-man and you go to do the nuke by yourself, like, yeah, we have the firepower to defend against like, I don't know, 100 bots. Like one dude could take 100 bots, but what if the 100 bots are coming from 3 different directions? You literally need another person.
How much ammo do you have? Are you out of reds? And you imagine if you have to compensate for the fact that you can't throw reds around the missile too, right? Because you'll damage it.
Yes.
It would take a lot more coordinating.
I was actually thinking the same thing, but for Seaf artillery objectives, because that objective to me is like the worst side objective in the game. It's so boring. Like nothing happens.
Make it so the projectile is going to explode if you're not careful.
I think you have to be careful about how much time investment you put into side objectives, though.
Oh no, it's just an example. Like I don't think it's a high priority thing, but like it's like if we're gonna get spammed with "you are in range of enemy artillery" all the time, why don't you just make it so like bots notice when you start loading the thing up and calling a drop, right?
Yeah.
Like give me something to engage with.
Just one drop.
Like I'd be maybe not one drop ship, but like one
just
wave.
one wave.
Make the patrols nearby actively seek it out, right? Because they watch the turret stick up and point at the air, and they don't react to it at all.
Yeah, dude. No, I tested this pretty freaking thoroughly. There's no reaction. Like you can just lay there for like the entire mission. Nothing will come to you.
They react to your big stompers moving all over the place. They hear you.
Yeah, they hear you or they see you, but they will not react to
clap
the
at those booty cheeks.
Yeah.
So I just thought that about reinforcements because it's like a bug breach. It's like you can just throw, everyone says napalm barrage, but it's like, let's be real. You throw a gas strike on it, you throw a Gatling barrage on it, someone tosses a napalm, and it's like most of the dudes are gone. The way Helldivers 1 did it was there was no cooldown on breaches, but it was a lot less enemies. So I feel it was a bit more dynamic, where it could turn into a lot of enemies if you didn't kill them fast enough. But then sometimes if you had things under control, you could just end it after the first call in and then sort of be hidden again.
You know what they could do? They already have this in the game, so I imagine it could work. Is like, when you do the abortion mission, you drop the nuke into the baby thing.
You read my mind. This is exactly what I was about to say.
They spawn from different angles. So like, because breaches, like they spawn and then you see the smoke and that's where all the enemies are going to come from. That's why you can do that. But if it like spawned a wave and then the breach is like moved, then that wouldn't be just the easy answer where, one person can just easily hold back an entire bug breach.
Yeah, like imagine an erratic automaton drop pattern so that the bots don't all like dump their garbage into one position for a single hell bomb to wipe out, but instead have them, like do different formations for their bot drop instead of just that specific flare spot where they want to land.
Well, to keep it like easy on the development side, what you could do is just make it so some drop far away from you and some drop on top of you. Like that way there's, they're spread out. So you can't just throw a big thing down and kill everything.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's like a perfect one for the bug. Since the bug breaches already do that, you just look at the scavenger that called it out and you throw the red stratagem on top of him already and you just let it like clear with the napalm.
Yep.
It's an afterthought. It's like 2 people with napalm barrage can basically shut down a good portion of the chaff while you guys pick off all the heavies. It's just,
dude, I don't know if
it's all one localized area.
Hey,
you ever run a mission with 4 people having the orbital napalm? It's the most boring experience you'll ever have.
It was exciting on my PC's performance at least.
Yep. But like, damn, there's no, like, I just found myself being bored. I'd turn on a YouTube video or something.
True.
It's the same thing as like when everybody has the laser orbital and they throw it at like the bot bases. I just pack my gear up and I walk the other direction because I know I'm not going to do anything by the time it finishes.
Yeah.
I'm just like, all right, going the other way.
I think there actually is an interesting thing they could do with sort of this is a really experimental idea. It would be for like a diff 11 where it's like where like everybody would have, okay, so the board game loadouts?
Yeah.
Where everybody's locked into a sort of role and you could pick whatever role you want, but every role only has a specific number of things it could pick. So like one board game loadout would be boring, but it's like, okay, you're the grenadier. You could bring the grenade launcher, the de-escalator, even an autocannon. And then your primaries are like breaker, cookout, I don't know, stuff like that.
Shotgun. Yeah.
Do you guys think something like that could be fun? Well, no. The point is to not synergize so much.
Oh, so it's like pure randomization.
Like you are the grenadier mobbing dude. One person on the team picked the anti-tank dude. And it's like the anti-tank dude can't deal with chaff that easy. He has to work with his mobbing dude.
Actually, that is an interesting idea because what you could do is have that either be like a mission modifier or like a, sub-faction or something. But I think it'd be a really good way to teach people how to synergize when you're on lower difficulties. You could make this like, you could even do it so like when you choose to do this kind of a mode or this kind of operation, you get more guns unlocked just for that operation. Like you can't like gain experience or anything, but like you can try new stuff. Like that would encourage people to actually engage with it. But yeah, dude, like this is one of the big problems is nobody knows how loadouts work or like how roles work because the game doesn't explain it. So if you had a mode where you were like, you're the grenadier, you're the AT guy, you're the scout, like that would help a lot with teaching people different ways to play.
I think it would be interesting. That's the most experimental out there idea though. I don't think that would happen anytime soon.
Yeah,
Probably
people are very fond of their loadouts, so if you force them to play a certain way in a game that already offers so much freedom, right?
It
would probably make some people upset.
It would have to be an alternate game mode.
Yeah. But I personally like the idea of it. I could imagine someone be like, oh, but Gundam Boy, I want to use my Eruptor!
Well, we can always do that between friends as well. Like, we queue up, I'll be like, okay, I'm bringing grenade launcher cookout. Kai has to run crossbow recoilless.
No!
That's what I do with when I play with my fire team, we usually all have like a dedicated role. So I have this one good guy on my team, his name's Tars. He always will run like if I ask him to be medic, right? He plays medic and it's really nice.
Yeah.
And I'll play something like I'll be using like something like Quasar and I'd be running a supply pack. And my main job on the team is to keep the anti-tank and the chaff clear guys loaded with ammo. Like I'm the ammo runner, right? But I would use a lot of weapons that didn't need to take ammo back into it. So it'd be using things like sickle or scythe or whatever I would, Talon, things like that.
I mean,
so
dude,
my main role is to feed ammo.
I already did a video on this. It's called "Exposing the Hidden Class System of Helldivers," where I talk about exactly this. But it's like one of the things I mentioned is like the engineer, which is like the grenade launcher turret guy. I was like, you can dig trenches with the grenade launcher, and everybody lost their minds. They're like, when did they add that? I'm like, it's been in the game the entire time since launch.
You said it just like in your video. My name, Commodore Kai. Yeehaw, yeehaw.
Yeah, that was perfect, dude.
If you don't follow the flag, you get my senator.
Can you say it again? Can you say it again for us in your cowboy voice?
What do you want me to say?
the thing with the flag and the senator.
Oh, you either see my flag or you'll see my senator.
There we go. All right, back to enemies. One of you mentioned enemy formations. I've seen people talk about this idea, but I've seen Clay talk about this as well. Like the bot tanks should have like 15 troopers around it, so like a sort of tank with infantry.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever thought about enemy formations?
Oh, all the time.
It's kind of like the spawns of the patrols. Go ahead, Gunn.
The only enemy like I can really imagine is like, you guys ever see those chargers that are like followed by like hunters or scavs? I think I've mainly seen like a behemoth charger be like followed around by like lesser shaft like that. I wish they would incorporate that more because they sort of do it. The automaton front with the war striders specifically will be supported by a bunch of automatons walking around them. But I feel like that way tanks are, you often just find a shredder tank roaming in the wild by himself, like it's an animal documentary.
Well, that's because that's how they spawn. They do not spawn in a pack. They spawn by themselves.
Exactly. They should spawn though in a pack.
Yeah,
especially something like the Mr. Wirbelwind cosplayer, right? The way that tank is, the shredder. It's like you think the 3 tanks that we would have would support each other in like tank columns and function in like a unit, but they're always just kind of a solo entity that runs around, very similar to like how once a Hulk spots you, if it's a melee version, he sprints through the crowd because he wants to murder you. The tanks kind of follow that similar ideology where they just want to get in your face and shoot you instead of like function like a tank.
Every enemy in the game other than like the Crescent Overseer does that. They all walk at you, which is why
yeah, the AI is wild.
It's really samey.
Have you ever seen the videos of like Harvester versus Factory Strider?
Oh yeah.
They just walk at each other.
Yeah,
they don't know how to interact with each other.
Well, no, but like that's their AI. They like why does a Harvester walk towards you to use its arc attack?
I would like to see a Harvester strafe left and right. You know what I mean? When they're trying to hit you with their laser instead of just walking forward. Same thing, like War Striders will do it. They'll hold back and fire, but they still walk towards you. They don't do anything other than that.
You know, it's really weird.
Should
like,
not do that.
I don't. Yeah, Barrage Tank's doing it. Stupid. But like, I don't know if the enemy AI has the ability to leash back to a spot, which is a big problem with like stealth gameplay, right? Because like, if I go in and I aggro a base and then I run away, the enemies will not go back to where they were. They just despawn. So like, there's clearly no like leash mechanic. Like the enemies only know how to walk at you, and I imagine that is a limitation in development right now.
So much so that they used to walk into the wall towards you and just shoot through the wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they actually just know the W key.
I've had Hulks turn into acrobats jumping over walls because they want to go through that. Their pathfinding broke and they just don't know where else to go and they want to sprint through it, right? I remember Factory Striders shooting through walls.
Yeah.
Like that, the chain guns were so annoying at that time just because of that fucking gimmick with their personality is just to walk towards you.
I wonder if that's in the realm of AI calculations, though. I mean, certainly, but like if we're saying to remove the W key all the time calculation and replace it with something else, would that make performance worse? Maybe.
Probably if they could optimize it well.
It might not even be like it. Look, it really might be something that the engine Stingray cannot do, and I don't know why. But like Darktide does the exact same thing. Every single enemy will walk at you. Like there's a few exceptions, like gunners will stand there and shoot at you, but as soon as they can't see you, they just walk at you again. So it really might be an engine limitation, but even with that limitation, they could do something where if like a tank can see you, it stops moving to shoot at you, and then the behavior is only re-engaged when it can't see you. I don't know. That's
Well,
how it
hey,
works. in
they
Dark
did
Tide,
it
and they
with
broke
Alpha
away.
Commanders, though.
Well, they made them run away. Yeah.
Yeah, they turn around and go like, and then they call in another round. It's because like I'm just gonna like bring up like something like Armored Core because they have a lot of like grunt enemies you fight in that game, and even they make a better effort to try and dodge, even if they're not the fastest. Like I've had enemies strafe around like a basic missile attack. So it's like you think like there'd be more of that they could put in for the other enemies to make them a bit more difficult. Because imagine if Overseers made the effort to like sidestep attacks, right?
Yeah.
That would add a different layer of difficulty to Q-tip guys instead of them just putting a shield up and standing there idly while they wait for a grenade to go off.
I think one thing that's interesting is aim resistance. Do you guys know what this is?
Yeah. Where you like aim at an elevated overseer and they avoid your crosshair.
Yes, and that sucks. Well, I mean, it kind of sucks sometimes. It sucks with like it sucks with the flying enemies more, but the enemy that has amazing aim resistance is frickin' predator stalkers and predator hunters. When they just like
they do not care.
No, but when they like giga strafe right as you're trying to shoot them, like that looks cool as hell.
It is cool. That's something where it's like that is just the lever's in the wrong spot. It's a good lever to pull, but like elevated overseers are annoying, whereas predator stalkers feel good.
Well, but also maybe like overseers don't have any at all, and that's why they never like try to side.
It's not in their code. They don't know to dodge because it's not in their brain. They only know W.
Yeah.
See, this is one thing where it's like none of us know like the limitations that Arrowhead has to work with. So like I don't know. I try to give them the benefit of the doubt, even when it's not deserved. But like maybe it's overseers or they're like the walking variety. There's too many of them, so like adding in that behavior would tank performance or something. But I imagine there is something like that behind the scenes. Also, I saw somebody in chat say Dark Tide is an actual horde shooter. That's the difference. Dark Tide is also a very strict team game, which is something that really is missing from Helldivers. Because like you can only go in one direction. You know, the map is linear. You don't have a choice.
Yeah, everybody converges eventually.
Well, it literally you cannot progress a mission without grouping up. There's airlocks where everybody has to be there, otherwise.
Oh yeah, that's completely different. You have to be. You will see each other.
Tristan with the $5. Thank you. Could we throw up some W's? He says layered, simple behaviors can result in beautifully complex, emergent behaviors so long as they are made and layered properly.
That's a W take. That's definitely true.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard for me to say as well when we're talking about enemy AI. It's like what I don't exactly like. I don't know coding. I don't know what limitations they have either. And
I see one that took the code of door. I'm not doing coding. That sounds like hell.
Well, that's why I think like
painful.
With these kind of discussions, we need to try to give as many like a breadth of suggestions because there's some things we might come up with that are just not possible, and we just don't know that. You know,
there could be some things we come up with that are possible too.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, that's why it's important to give a lot of different kinds of suggestions.
I would like to hear them do. I would like to see them do a blog post on enemy AI or the AI calculations, update, and like what limitations do they have? Because then, if we have suggestions, we could give better suggestions at that point.
Because we know they can make enemies like Hulks jump into the air. That was something. So it seems like there might be a level of flexibility, but like, what is that limit?
Oh, you reminded me what I was going to bring up. Let's talk about Rupture Strain. First, I have another dono from Allspark. Thank you, King. The enemy AI seems to have become dumber, to be honest. Love seeing the gang here. If you could change 3 things right now, what would that be? Melee slot, question mark? All right, 3 things we would change. So how about everybody gets one?
Okay, sounds good. How about you go first, Dick?
I think Gundam had one.
Oh, Gundam?
I mean, yeah, it's a pretty obvious one. I'd give mechs resupply, the ability to resupply pack. Because they're so powerful in their current state. It's just when they're out of ammo, they're not, right? They're really good.
Yeah.
I wish you could resupply them, honestly. That's probably my one. Like, I would sacrifice my account back to level 1 if it meant we got a resupply.
I have a selfish one and a more unselfish one. I don't know which one
Let's
to
hear it.
say.
Go with the selfish one first.
Okay, the
Yeah.
selfish one is give me back launch pummeler. That's all I want, bro. That's it. Listen. I was ready to glaze the last patch until I'd played the pummeler, and I was like, oh my god, bro. I was like, oh my god, dude, it still sucks. It's like
I tried the pummeler, and I gotta say, I hate it. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't like Liberator Concussive either, for that fact. And I was like, I'm gonna do a video on Liberator Concussive and pummeler. No, never mind. I'm not doing it. I hate them.
And when we're done with this, I think we should go back to that topic because there's some stuff I'd like to say about it. But what's your unselfish one, Thick?
the unselfish one would be throw side objectives into the mega bases.
Yep.
Oh, that's a good one.
All
That
the
is a
enemy specific ones.
good- Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Honestly, why isn't there a Predator Stalker coming, or a normal Stalker pouring out of like a giant mega nest?
Or a super base, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, it's like I think you said it, Gundam, in your video, but it's like they have all these defenses and none of them are at their bases.
They're all just scattered across the map. Like, what is the motor defending? The single box that the Epoch couldn't open at one point?
Yeah, or
Oh,
like
man.
the stratagem jammer. Sometimes they're just out in the middle of absolutely nowhere, like
Stopping
why?
every ant from getting their Wi-Fi received. It's just like there's nothing
Yeah.
out there.
High Fury.
It's dumb.
All right, what's yours, Kai?
Mine's probably the enemy AI thing. Like if enemies could behave differently than just walk at you, that would be great. Because it's something like I have a problem with like the bots specifically. Because like it doesn't matter how many new enemies or how many more enemies you throw into the mix, right? If I stand around a corner with my beloved M90A, I can kill everything until I'm literally out of ammo. Because they just walk at you. They don't do anything else. So, like, if there could be a tank that's like trying to suppress me while Devastators are trying to flank me, that would be so much more fun, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You
I thought you were
know,
gonna say delete the crossbow.
I did have a suggestion that I think they.
Cool.
I did have a suggestion I think they could do. Gundam reminded me of it, and you just reminded me again because I forgot again. So the Rupture Warriors, how do you guys feel about them now?
I think they're okay. I never really liked the idea, like the concept, but like they're better than they were.
Gundam,
I mean-
any difference now?
I mean, like, other than the warrior not warping into the moon to hit you when you're flying with your hover pack, I mean, they're pretty like, I feel pretty neutral toward them. I don't think they make me go like, oh my god, it's the rupture strain. It will be more like that as shit, it's the Predator Stalkers more than that. I think they're
Okay, so here's my suggestion. Why don't they dig faster, but they go behind you, and they literally come out of the ground like 10 meters behind you, so they can actually surround you with the other bugs.
Mm.
And same with the Jet Brigade as well. Why doesn't the Jet Brigade, like, you know how you can like, you know how you can shoot like one purifier shot at a group of Jet Brigade and they all explode?
I grazed them with a laser dagger by accident.
Yeah, so people, hey, that doesn't work anymore. so people will be like, "Oh, make them more explosive resistance, blah blah blah." And it's like, okay, Loki, I can actually agree with that a little bit, but why don't we try out all the jet troopers actually jumping in multiple directions around you rather than they all just kind of jump in front of you? And it does look really cool. I do like them a lot. But they definitely do just jump to like right in front of you and then just start shooting.
Yeah, like they should make them so that they jump over you and shoot at you while they make them jump over you. You know, like more behaviors than just landing 5 feet in front of you and just staring at you.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like this whole that's also what makes, I don't know, like positioning important or being with your team important. Like that kind of behavior is what
Combat
makes the game
awareness,
harder
too.
in a good way, not like a bullet spongy way.
We have $5 from your trusted confidant. All these slop divers sitting in a circle talking about what makes the game difficult when we should be talking about what makes the game actually fun. There was more to this message. Hold on. Wait a second. It got cut off in the YouTube chat. Hold up. Wait a minute. when we should be talking about what makes the game actually fun. Remove sway, remove drag, remove ergonomics. There's no reason my gun shouldn't be aiming exactly where my cursor is. CS, go, 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 go. First of all, thank you for the $5. Second of all, I would push back a little bit. Like, I don't think the game should feel like CS:GO. And to answer your original question, why are we talking about this? It's because a lot of the difficulty they have proposed was unfun. So they want the game to be harder. A lot of us would like a challenging horde shooter to play because we have played other challenging horde shooters, and that is what's fun. So, but like, it should be challenging and not lean towards unfair or unengaging or frustration.
You know, this is also something that I have a little bit of a bone to pick, because whenever you use the word realism, everyone shits their pants, right? And I get it. Like, we don't want to have stupid, realistic things to make the game feel bad. But there's a difference between, like, being overly realistic and being immersive, right? Like, what if 500 goes off next to me, I wouldn't expect my guy to have perfect aim because he just got mashed by a freaking blast wave, you know? So, like, I'm okay with a little bit of that kind of stuff. But stuff like pistol sway is like anti-fun because it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it's like, you know, you could make an argument it's realistic because like adrenaline and stuff, but like that's the kind of realism that doesn't need to be in the game, you know? But like, I don't know, the armor system is immersive. You shouldn't be able to kill a tank with a liberator unless you're shooting in a weak spot. So like, yeah, I don't know. There's that kind of distinction. But also, difficulty is what makes the game fun. The reason most people like Helldivers is because it's chaotic, and there's like all this randomness that happens. You also get like crazy firepower from your super destroyer. But if the lever's tweaked too far in one direction or the other, the game falls apart. If it's too hard, it's going to be frustrating. If it's too easy, it's going to be boring, you know?
And also, to be fair, I've posted like 12 videos bitching about the pistol sway, and every single stream we bitch about it. Like, okay, we gotta have one stream where we talk about something else, okay?
But the pistol sway is so dumb. I used to flick my shots with the verdict, and now these days I'm having a hard time to hit a goddamn scavenger walking left. It's just like, why did my gun... It's like the argument they proposed was like, oh yeah, it would be harder to aim the head. No, it's not. If you've ever fired a handgun, it's not. That's not how that works. That's a thing of realism that doesn't need to be in the game, and it pissed me off so mad. It's like, what's even the point of bringing this? I can't even aim. So the most cases I bring handguns is to shoot an enemy 2 feet in front of me because I just don't go beyond a certain range because that sway is in the way. It's like, come on.
Actually, you know,
that one is something I feel very passionate about. That one made me upset.
This is kind of interesting because, like, this is kind of the immersive thing a little bit, right? The pistol thing makes pistols feel bad, but like, the game doesn't communicate to you that if you're walking or running, the sway gets worse. It's just something you're supposed to figure out. But
did they say that in the tutorial? Like, you can crouch for it to be more accurate or something?
They don't. That's kind of the problem.
Unless I'm thinking about my guide video, then I actually said that.
That's the thing, is like they're relying on YouTubers to teach people this stuff. But like, you know, that kind of makes sense. If I'm walking forward with an assault, or if I'm running and firing an assault rifle, it's more bouncy. But like with pistols, it's just too much. So it's just one of those levers that's just cranked wrong, you know? Like a little sway is fine.
You know what I actually think, though? I actually think that one-handed weapons should actually have less sway, because now that they have so much sway, it's actually ridiculous to run and gun with them.
Mm-hmm.
Which is one of their niches, gameplay wise.
It's just like overall trying to aim is just with those handguns. If you ever try to hit a Devastator in the head with that new stealth handgun they added, good luck, right? Good luck moving and doing that.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was saying, is that like it's too much right now, because like ARs are in a good spot with sway. You know, they move a little bit, but it's not enough to be like annoying.
Yeah, because your first shot hits the left side of the Devastator's chest armor, not his head, and then the next shot hits like the top, and then you miss on the right. Even though you're doing everything in your power to aim for the center of his head, but that little circle just keeps going everywhere when you're moving. Like, you have to like lay down at this point with handguns and shoot them. That's how bad it feels.
Although, to the person that donated, I will point out, CS:GO has the exact same mechanic. If you're shooting while you're moving, you're less accurate.
I don't think you should, like, that's something that I don't understand when people are saying. It's you should just remove all those things to make the gun feel like a laser beam so that every gun can feel the same. I don't, that's not how weapons feel in most games. There is going to be sway to some degree, maybe not to the abysmal levels that they put for handguns, but if like the Jar Dominator turned on a dime, I think it would be very alien feeling.
It'd be weird. Yeah, it'd be weird for sure.
It doesn't feel like I'm using a big beefy gun. It feels like I'm pointing a laser around and just blasting things, which that's where it hits immersion, right? Where it's like the immersion's kind of killed because now my big heavy gun doesn't feel like a big heavy gun. It just feels like a gun.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the immersion is important. Realism is not. You know, that's what it boils down to.
Wait,
I don't want to hear realism with the Bile Titan. Okay,
this is a crazy take. They never got rid of spread. They just put a timer on it.
What does that mean?
Like, because the sway settles after a second, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you have spread until it settles.
Right.
That's actually a wild way to look at it, by the way. I never thought of that.
That's fair. That's fair. That's honest. I can see it.
All right, that was a nice, fun derailing. I enjoyed that. We were talking about enemies surrounding you, like the Jet Brigade and Rupture Strain. Any last thoughts on that?
Honestly,
I want
move on.
Hulks to try to land on you. That's all I would say. I want the jump pack Hulks to actually try and body slam you. Like,
no, actually, that might be cool. That might be cool. That might be cool.
You imagine the last second dodge to avoid getting Goomba stomped by a big ass mech. Oh, man.
That would be so fun because it's a different thing. Like, you know, the Flamer Hulk jumps in, tries to Goomba stomp you,
that would be
then,
insane.
Like, dive out of the way, and you have to run away. It'd be great.
Forces movement, right? So it's like if you're camping the corner, you just look up and it's like a piano falling on you.
For people in chat who don't know all the keywords, ergonomics is your weapon being slower than your crosshair. That's how slow your ergonomics are. Sway is the little circle reticle. How if you're standing completely still, it kind of like goes a little bit side to side and up and down. So
and then
yeah, that's what that is.
Spread is the artificial moving of your bullets to where they're not supposed to go.
I played War Thunder, so I've experienced this one before.
Yeah. So spread is like, shit, which gun had really bad spread? The stim pistol.
The reprimand.
The reprimand. When the reprimand first came out, you might have seen a clip where someone was sitting still, shot straight forward, and then the bullet like went to the right. That's spread.
That was so dumb.
That was really frustrating.
You know,
I wanted to like that Warbond too, and in the reprimand, I was just like, "What?" It was one of the first Warbond videos too. That gun was bad with it. Even the Halt has some wild spread. Like at point blank, it should, in theory, be able to like blast the.
I would love the Halt with a full choke.
Oh, dude, that'd be nuts.
I would love the Halt with a full choke.
But even then, at point blank, I still hit his backpack. You know what I mean? I was shoving the shotgun up into his back, and it was just what.
Hey, actually, that mentioning the Hulk, I had a question I wanted to ask y'all. Do you think it'd be a good idea if different enemies were more or less vulnerable to certain status effects? Like, say, War Striders were more vulnerable to being stunned, or, you know, Bile Spears were more vulnerable to being caught on fire, that kind of thing.
Honestly, I could see that, yeah. As if it makes sense, right? Like, any enemy that, like a rocket dev, you think they would be more prone to exploding if a little bit of fire hit them, right? Because they have active explosive munitions on their back.
I think
because
that's like an example I could see.
Like Thick with the pummeler, right? It needs a niche. It needs to be able to do what it's supposed to do. So, like, if you made the stun effect more pronounced against like all the chaff enemies, or just one bullet stuns them, and then made it a little bit harder for bigger enemies, or however you wanted to deviate it, like it would give it a role. It would give it a thing it's supposed to do.
I need it to stun alpha commanders well too, and stalkers.
Yeah, dude, like those fast, dangerous enemies are the ones that spawn extra stuff. Like, then it would make sense to have somebody with a pummeler that is stunning everything, and then other people with killing stuff. Because, like, I hate the argument, why stun it if you can just kill it, but, like, at the state the game is in right now, that's valid. You know, it makes sense because like the stuns are just so bad. They take so long.
I think that question is always valid, but the answer has to be it's way easier to stun something. That's what you have to answer it.
Yeah, exactly. It does need to be easier to stun something. Like, you know, one bullet from a pummeler should stagger something or stun it. Or one bullet from the pacifier should stagger or stun something. Like, just, I don't know. Drives me insane. Because I want those supportive roles to be more impactful. And
W. Kai, he wants my pummeler back.
Yeah, dude, you can have your pummeler. I'll keep my PP.
Hey, man, I was a day one PP fan, okay?
Dude, I've been trying to get people to use it for a year. I posted a comment up from a video I posted a year ago talking about how good the gun was.
It fell off a little bit. I always liked it, though. All right, let's talk about teamwork. Me and Kai briefly talked about this before, but I would go so far to say is that Helldivers on launch and in its current form is not a team game. It's like the mechanics are not built into the game like other games are, and that Helldivers feels like a solo game that you can queue up with friends, almost like Warframe. And I feel like there's a lot of mechanics that even encourage you to do that, like how the reinforcements work. If you're playing bots and, you know, two people are just kind of fighting whatever, well, then you go run off on your own and go do the side objectives in the bases. And shoot, I had a whole list.
Well, I will say I definitely disagree with that. I think especially... Here, while you look for it, on launch, I do think teamwork was a lot more rewarding than it is now because, like, the weapons are weaker. I don't think that that's the way they should go with teamwork, but, like, I don't know, the game is fun because we're all Helldivers. We're all trying to do the same thing, and, like, encouraging this solo, like, split off on the map thing, I think it's just really bad for the game because now we're balancing the game around the individual player rather than around a squad. And, like, I don't think that stuff like press F for team play is really how any team play based game works. You know, like Darktide does it really well because when you're around your teammates, you get different buffs, you get different synergies. Like you get so much stronger. And then also when you split off on your own, the game director, which I don't think Helldivers has, targets you specifically for running off on your own. And I would love to see that more in Helldivers because if you're good enough, you can still do it. But like right now, it rewards you because if like a bot drop is called in, then there's no threat to you beyond what you can see. There's nothing that will actually like surprise you. So you can just go do whatever you want. And I think that really hurts the game because I don't think that most people play this to just do that. I think a lot of people play it to enjoy the community and enjoy playing with other people.
I think a lot of people definitely do. I mean, that's why people queue up in randoms. But I feel like the way it plays out a lot of the times is that a lot of people kind of just do their own thing, even when they're queuing up with randoms. Like, of course, a lot of people try to make friends and play together and do things together, but I just feel like the mechanics don't encourage you to do that at all. Like,
yeah,
you can do that. You can, but I don't think that there's like an actual mechanic. Like when I mentioned the nuke mission, like what if when the nuke comes out of the ground, it's destroyable and there's enemies coming at it from 3 directions. One dude would not try to do that in a 4-man by himself. And of course that should be scaled differently if you're playing solo. Like maybe they should only come from 2 directions solo. But like in a 4-man, it should be encouraged. Like I don't think that mission should be balanced in a way that it's like, you can randomly fail because a factory strider shot it in a 4-man, but it should be more so that it's like if you try to do that in a solo 4-man, you're most likely going to fail. If you try to do it as a duo in a 4-man, maybe you could pull it off, but maybe you're going to fail. And then in like as long as I feel like it should be done to just encourage people to meet up at a certain point in the game. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's because, like, I gave you the example, like, gunship fabricators, how, like, they're dangerous and you need to deal with them. That's how I think you make team play happen in Helldivers. And it's just when we were weaker, you kind of had to out of necessity because you couldn't really tackle everything on your own. I think that was a bad example. That was the whole, like, bullet sponge enemy solution. Everything, we're weak, so like enemies are strong, we have to stick together. But if we make it so the game is like fun to play, like on the individual level, then I think the way you have to encourage teamwork in this game has to be like organic like that. Like if I try to do the oil mission by myself, I'm going to get screwed. Like the Pelican will get shot down. We all fail the mission. There's a big like risk to doing something solo. And I don't see why they don't do that because, like, everybody points at the whole use overpowered weapons thing that was on the back of the box. And this is a point I make in my video where it's, if you look what's right fucking next to it, it's overcome impossible odds with your team, right? This game was sold as a co-op horde shooter, and we have no co-op in it right now. And I hate that. Like, it was a little better early on, but it still wasn't good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even when I'm playing with my team, there's a lot of like missions where I can tell them to go, like, with our cooperation lies in, like, I'm telling them to go take that base out, you take that base out, I'm going to get this base out, and we'll converge on the last objective, right? The missions don't support a lot of cooperation. There's just not a lot of missions where you need that coordination. Where I did see that coordination really jump in was on Oshiune, specifically with the oil tanker. There was a few times where I had to like tell everybody, we have to kill the Hive Lord before we ever get this thing moving, or we're going to be completely screwed, right? And that required us to cooperate to use all of our stratagems to take down the big worm boss. And that was like the most I think I've been able to cooperate with randoms to that level, right?
Well, dude, it's because it had a failure state.
It had a failure state. That's the thing that shocked me. I watched someone drive the oil rig the first time over the mountain, going to the next objective. The Hive Lord bursted from underneath and destroyed it. And I felt the feeling that I haven't had in a while for playing Helldivers. And that's what I feel like we need more of. We need more missions where you could possibly fail. Because a lot of the missions you can do right now, you don't even have to fight most of the enemies to complete it. You can stealth your way all the way through and, complete it solo, right? I mean, it's
a big issue is that you can run away from anything. There's no risk. Like
there's no fail, like the little data packet for deleting it. They don't destroy it. Imagine if the automatons wanted to destroy the package you had, but no. Instead, you can blow up with it, and now you have to just walk back a minute later after everyone's gone, grab the package, go and finish the mission. There's no failure state, and that doesn't make. It makes that, like this guy said, it makes running the more optimal way to play.
Or wait, y'all might know this, but I'm curious how much a chat knows this. Did y'all know you can actually fail the AA side objective? It can be destroyed.
Yeah,
I knew that.
That's crazy to me because nothing will actively try to destroy it while you're raising it. It just happens on accident. Yeah,
I swear it just happens on accident.
Mm-hmm.
I
think
like
the only time I seen it do that was with like the Annihilator tank shooting at it when I was hiding on top.
But Thick, like, do you remember when we did the Constitution run with me, Arabin, you, and Easy? You remember how we had that realization where we were all splitting off doing our own thing, and then we're like, we're getting our asses kicked, and then we grouped up and pushed through it, and it was way better.
Yeah,
that's what I want from the game. I want that to be not like a enforced requirement, but I want it to be heavily rewarded to play that way.
Even just even like you mentioned in Dark Tide, like you can't get through the door until everyone shows up. Like if there were just a few, like if Helldivers could just implement that, okay, like a door that no one could get through till everyone's there, it's like, okay, that, but like the idea of like, okay, we're gonna progress to the next thing, we should probably meet up here. Like I think that's just the smallest amount that they need to implement.
Yeah, dude, or can't call in Pelican can't call in Pelican to get the oil unless there's multiple Helldivers in the area. Like that should be easy to implement. But like, yeah, you don't. I saw. Wait, hang on. I saw something in chat. What was it? Also, bad weapons equals teamwork. Nerfing with all weapons Constitution level down. I think you're trolling, but no, that's not what I'm saying. Actually, if you balance the game around this, yeah, I figured he's trolling me. But like, if you do balance the game around this, there's also a lot more fun stuff you can do with the weapons. Like, you're more encouraged to bring more diverse stuff to handle more threats. Or like, you're encouraged to be the gas guy or the stun guy or the liberator concussive guy. Like, that would be more rewarded if there was more points where you had to be with your team, because those weapons only benefit from having a team near them. Well, they mostly benefit from it.
We had a dono from Watchdog. This one is for Gundam, I believe. Watchdog says, what did he say? It's called Oshak Hennessy around here, buddy.
It's not Oshan?
No.
I'm sure I heard Hoshan.
Oshak Hennessy. You ever seen the Key? You ever seen the Key and Peele skit? Ron?
No.
I don't think I've seen that one in particular.
Man, how have these guys... I'm going to send it to you guys. You can watch it later.
Oh, wait, Thick, I remember you asked in your stream yesterday, I was watching it, you asked, like, you thought we were Zoomers? How old do you think I am?
What? No. I said Kai is older than me.
Okay, yeah.
Unk.
No, I'm the Unk of Helldivers.
Yeah.
Uncle Dive Pa.
Okay, first of all, I called you guys Zoomers because you didn't know Wile E. Coyote. Okay? Okay, buddy?
All right.
Okay, buddy?
Dude,
Red should have got that. I don't know why.
And Moi with the 5 gifted. Can we throw up some big W's in chat, please? Please. Thank you, Moi. How you doing tonight? Yeah. Kai, you didn't watch Looney Tunes, bro? Come on.
No, I did. I just didn't really understand the game yet at that point. I was bad at trivia. This is well known.
Oh, when was that video? When was that video?
That was a few weeks ago, I think.
Oh, yeah, you said you didn't understand the game. I was like, was that video? Or you meant the trivia game?
Yeah, the trivia game.
I thought you meant Helldivers. I was like, what, did you guys record that 2 years ago?
No. It was just like, it was not Helldivers, and I didn't quite get what that meant until the Mitch McConnell question. Then I was like, oh, I get it.
Dude, the Mitch McConnell one was so funny.
Oh, I thought it was voteless.
No, yeah, voteless into Flesh Mob was crazy answers. Anyways, where were we at? We got, man, we're getting derailed by Oshak Hennessy. Teamwork.
Actually, I'm curious, do y'all think teamwork should be implemented more? Because, like, this is how I like to play the game, but it might not be for everybody.
So, I would say, in general, in a co-op game, my answer would lead to saying yes. But I also do think... how many Horde shooters have you guys played? I know, Kai, you've played Darktide and DRG.
Mm-hmm.
I've played various EDF games.
Okay.
I played Left 4 Dead as well.
Left 4 Dead, yeah.
Okay.
What else is there?
Do you guys not think that Helldivers is more of a casual game? Horde shooter, I should say. Casual Horde shooter. Compared to some of the others.
I think it's only more casual because of the lone wolf thing. As in, like, Helldivers 1 enforced team play by virtue of the camera. You just couldn't go off on your own. Helldivers 2 took that away and put it in third person. So now they have this big open map, and I think Arrowhead just didn't know how to, like, enforce that teamwork, for lack of a better word, or reward it, because, like, there's nothing indicating that they wanted you, or that, like, that would teach you how to do that. But, like, I do think the game was designed as a co-op Horde shooter. I do think they expected you to group up with your team, but that's just not what happened.
So, I would almost disagree with you. I think they designed it explicitly to be more casual. I think they purposefully wanted the difficulty and the co-op to come from just the enemies and the weapon balance, and that's why the number one lever they ever pull is to try to nerf things. And they explicitly made it so that you can load into a mission, throw the SOS beacon. If people join, they join. If someone disconnects mid-match, you don't get punished for it. You can still go finish the main objective on your own. Like, I think they intentionally made the main objectives easy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to say. I can't say whether they intentionally did it, but they definitely did do it. But it's like,
Well,
Dark.
I would
What's
say
up?
that they intentionally made the main objective easy, and they wanted that teamwork to come from, not being able to kill an enemy super easily.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the difficulty they're encountering right now is because they have had to make the game more casual because of the broad appeal of the game, right? Like they've said this multiple times where they wanted it to be more like Tarkov, but it ended up being its own thing. I think that's what happened is like they wanted you, they expected you to be together. That's why the guns used to be really weak. But as they've balanced it differently to accommodate more people, they've lost that. And I think, well, like I hope they want to get it back, and they just don't know how, which is why I've wanted to talk about it. That's why I've made it my whole thing.
Well, to answer your question, do you think Helldivers should add more teamwork from just a co-op gaming perspective? I would say yes, they should probably encourage it more. But I also think that's one reason it had such a wide appeal is it's very easy to just hop in and out of games and you don't necessarily have to rely on anyone. Because a lot of times in some of these, a lot of the other co-op horde shooters are not nearly as popular as Helldivers. And, if you require a whole other person to just be able to do an objective, that can be kind of tough for random queues.
Well, think of it this way, right? They could only do that. Like, I don't want to require teamwork. I want to reward it. That's the big difference. So, like, imagine if the only time where that was a requirement was on the final part of the primary, right? That would make sense because then everybody can go off, do their own thing, clear most of the map, and then you regroup, you finish the primary, you go to the Pelican. Like, the game flow state would be better if that was required. Or at least encouraged, at least encouraged.
Yeah. So yes, I think they should do it, and I think it would make the game more fun. But I would say to definitely be careful of overdoing it, and also possibly make it a selectable modifier of destructible objectives. And also, I think it's not just destructible objectives either. I think one form of teamwork that is gone from this game that nobody talks about is we don't have to collect samples anymore.
Yep. Because like when you're
specific.
Well, when you're a young Helldiver,
you have a lot of ship
container,
modules. Weapon customization should have costed samples.
That makes sense. It cost and requisition is dumb.
Yeah. Like, I feel like one part of Helldivers that I haven't experienced in forever is when I'm trying to get my 9th ship module that costs all my sample cap, and I had to go make a crazy run for it and try to get the samples to the ship.
Yeah. It also adds a lot of tension to the game, which is fun, And that way
you have something to lose.
Well, you can win the mission and still lose, right? Because the guy with the samples died. So like you're all on the Pelican, you extract, and then you're like, God damn it, we didn't get the samples. Like that is completely gone from high level play. And I don't know how they would fix that other than like adding more stuff for us to spend samples on.
There could be a mission where, like the SSD, you got to take it to the Pelican.
Oh, what would y'all think of like if they say they redid it so like upgrades required samples? What if they added a like prestige mode that would give you new titles that would reset all your weapons progress? Would y'all be for something like that? Give you a reason to get samples again?
Sounds a little Call of Duty to me. I don't know.
What do you mean? They gotta appeal to the Call of Duty players, though, Gundam.
You say they do, though. Like, they do have to a little bit. Like, if you want a broad, appealing game, it's going to appeal to the casual audience.
It depends.
Someone said, God, no.
It depends how they do Prestige. So, one idea I think is really cool. Let me pull up the picture for stream as well. So, one idea I think is really cool. Wait, I'm going to send it to you guys, and then I got to pull it up on Streamlabs. Okay, here it is on stream. Okay, well, that So one idea I think would be cool is anybody remember the Escalation of Freedom Great Rewards? So what if the bot head And the bug egg from high difficulty, like every 10 of those collected, you get a little medal on your armor that you can add to any armor set. How about and then that's for diff 10. But then for lower diff players, it's like every 10,000 bug kills, you get a medal. Every 5,000 bot kills, you get a medal. Every 500 melee kills, you get a medal. I feel like the game definitely needs some sort of better reward system. Because it's like, bro, Hive Lord kill 200 XP.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, like, I would be okay. I would be totally fine with that idea. But I really want something that can go on my ship. You know, give me
ship stuff. I've seen people say
that. Yeah, you know how, like, you used to, or at least when I was a kid, whenever I did good as a little boy, my mom would give me a gold star on my calendar. You know, like, oh, you did all your chores for the day, gold star. Like, I would love something like that on my ship, where it's like I can point
or
to
like
the accomplishments.
A Hive Lord tusk after you kill so many of them, you could put it on your ship.
Oh, you could make it like attached to the outside of your ship. You know,
on the outside.
That'd be so cool.
Your ship's
just battling.
Your super destroyer just has a Hive Lord entire carcass on the top of it.
Yep, or whenever
that would be badass.
Yeah, dude. Let us put trophies on our ship. We go full
cover get like a factory strider head mounted on the fucking ship. Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be great.
But no, anyway, the point is like we need some way to show our progression at the end game. Because like I mentioned this, but like there's nothing to do when you've maxed out everything. Like you're only playing the game for the love of the game, which is fine. But like having just a little something, a little gold star in whatever form it came in, would go a long way for keeping me engaged. You know?
Yeah.
Something to work for. You know, something to work to, or I don't know.
Yeah, better
add-on
reward system and progression.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It can be purely cosmetic.
Yeah, cosmetic. We got 2 donos. One of them is leading us to our next topic. So first of all, we got 5 from Girl Cock Cheesecake. Primary objectives should have raise the flag spawns. I think that's very true. Like,
I agree.
We jumped to destructible objectives. But, like, if the last, launched the nuke, just simply spawned enemies. Like, you would probably, if you're in a 4-man, you would probably want your want to meet up there. You know what I'm saying? I think that's, like, the minimum thing where they could just say, like, hey, it's recommended that you meet up here. Because that's, like, you'll get rewarded for it. You could do it solo, but you would probably want your teammates there.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the trick of it is you want to, like, if you want to do it solo, because, like, I'm sorry to keep bringing up Darktide, but, like, the only way you're soloing a Havoc 40 mission is if you're a fucking god at the game. You have to be so good to be able to do that, right? I'm fine with Helldivers having that kind of thing where it's like, if you're good enough, you can handle it. But, like, unless you're, him, you probably should have your teammates.
Yeah. And then we got $5 from Oren. Throw up some W's. Thank you guys for the donos today. He says one true flag needs to be an aura buff stratagem. And aside from the base idea from Gundam Boy, they need stratagems that encourage being near each other, in my opinion. Yeah, that's the other topic we got to talk about is the stim pistol. Okay? I seriously think if the stim pistol had a self-healing option and also warrants auto-locking, people would absolutely bring it over the ultimatum. And if you're like for the self-healing, right? Because if you could self-heal, a ton of people would just bring it for that alone. But then if it could actually aim at teammates well, like just adding a good support tool that's sort of in the meta, just flat out encourages people to work together. Like, if you're a selfish player who just brought the stim pistol to self-heal, you're telling me you're never going to auto-aim it at your teammate either? Like, you will. And then even just that sort of thing alone will encourage you guys to stick together because you'll just want to you'll just be guided to working as a team more in general.
most people who do bring the stim pistol now these days are like of that virtuous, like I will heal you, and they like sprint across the map just to do that. But like adding on that extra like use, I think would be a pretty good option for that.
You know,
That pistol sway also affects it.
my only concern with that is if you can self heal, they would need to like make the healing effect different because otherwise you'd just be invincible, you know.
Or they
Well,
decrease the amount of rounds.
The stim pistol doesn't have a real stim in it. It heals you kind of slowly for half your health.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of a good way for them to do it, but like even that, it's just you're kind of immortal, you know, especially if you brought like the medic armor with the experimental infusion. Like I can't see how I would ever die other than getting like shot by a cannon tower.
At a bare minimum, we can agree to warrant auto aim, right?
Oh, absolutely. It should 100% have that.
That'd be a good idea for like alternate tower. You know how we have the Tesla tower? What if we had like a humidifier with stim coming out of it?
That'd be cool.
People would coordinate together to like, you know, gather around the little stim duster.
Oh, also to answer the dono thing, like, yeah, the flag should 100% have some kind of an effect that benefits people. I mean, like, I like it for the meme. I'm fine with it as it is now, but I would like it more if it had a better effect, you know?
Makes everybody more armored.
What kind of aura buff would you put on it?
I think I'd make it like either stamina or reload speed. I think either of those would make sense. Because it's about morale, right? Morale is a real thing. You can perform better when you have high morale. So, like, maybe you can run for longer, you can rush at the enemy or get to the objective and then plant the flag or whatever. Or, you know, the reload speed thing. Or you could just do both because, like, it's a freaking stratagem.
It should be both, yeah. But if those are your only two ideas, I would definitely say both.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any ideas for that? Like, what the effect would be?
I do, but do you have anything, Gundam?
I was thinking of, like, you know, like a morale thing. Like, I don't know, maybe they don't get, like, knocked down by certain attacks.
Ooh,
like, you know what I mean?
Anti-stagger ragdoll.
Yeah, like a rocket raider hits you and you just, like, headbutt them through the explosion because they got the adrenaline of the flag behind them, right?
Yeah, what if you, like, couldn't ragdoll if you had it planted and you're within, like, 10 meters? Anyone.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool for, like, defend. Like, if you're trying to hold a position, right? Like that last stand in Space Marine, you're just, like, holding up on point. Oh, that'd be so
actually cool. Like, that would be really cool, and it wouldn't, like, think about it, because, like, normally, if you get hit by a rocket from a rocket devastator, the other rockets miss you. But if you didn't get staggered, you'd get hit by more of them. So, like, it would have that kind of balance.
Hey, man, if that happens, it happens.
Well, no, I'm saying it would be a good thing. It'd be cool. Because, you're just tanking it, right?
Yeah. It would make you adapt in the way of, like, if you are immune to getting staggered, it would make you have to be more proactive and reactive to the enemy. Like, you'd have to duck the next few if you realize that it's hitting you, right?
Oh, did y'all ever see EDG's animation where he had the Helldiver that, like, they're trying to get the samples? He, like, stims himself and his eyes go big. Like, that's the flag, right? Like, you're just locked in for democracy.
Then they can make a little joke about it actually putting, like, crack stimulants in the air. You know what I mean? Why the flag makes people so powerful. It's like it's actually, like, coated in crack.
Well, like,
crack.
You know, I get that they want to keep magic out of the game. I just don't see how this would be magic. Because, like, you can point to real life examples. Like, there's examples of soldiers getting shot, like, a bunch of times and still charging up a hill to kill people. Like,
I have an in-game example.
What's that? So
the tier 5 ship module morale augmentation says that your ship's crew has more morale because they get paid bathroom breaks. And so I guess they're able to reload your ammunitions faster, and it gives you I think that's the one that's like 5% cooldown off everything.
Yeah.
So that's in the game. Just saying. All right, so I think the obvious aura buff for the flag is Democracy Protects. That's like the obvious one, because that's already on the armor, and it's already in the name of the game. But I also think it should go as far as it has an expendable cooldown. Like, you should literally be able to call it, or even way less. Like, you should be able to call it in at every secondary objective and final objective and the extract, or just like if there's a bug breach, like you should be encouraged to call it in and plant it down as often as possible to get everybody to group up as often as possible. And I would say, I know this isn't a morale, this is magic, more fire rate, because my fantasy is I call the flag, I plant it down, and then 4 of us with stalwarts are just blasting.
How much of that percentage would you increase it by that? You imagine how crazy it'd be?
50%.
Max RPM stalwart.
Okay, like I have to poo-poo on the parade a little bit because faster fire rate for me.
Yeah, that's
is
magic. That's magic.
That's fully magic, unless it's like the tenderizer, right?
And then I like the Democracy Protects idea, but I could see that being really hard to code because, like, how would that work? Is it a buff that's applied to you like a stem? Because, like, imagine you get blown out of the radius of the flag and then your Democracy Protects doesn't work.
You hit the rock and die. Oh,
yeah,
no.
then you hit the rock and die. I mean, that would be funny, but you wouldn't, like, feel the effect. I feel like it'd be a lot more badass if you had the stagger resistance because then, like, you have the potential to take more damage, but you could just like, you know, Hulk your way through it. Be fun.
And not just like stagger resistance, or sorry, like getting knocked over by explosions, but also like the armor from the Truth Enforcers unflinching as well to add on to it, right? Because now they're like locked in.
The stagger and that stuff sounds way cooler, I'm not gonna lie. And I could still live my Stalwart fantasy with that too.
Yeah, who's gonna stop you when the flag's placed and your stalwarts are ripping, right? No amount of rockets or heavy divs or even a charger coming at you would stop that.
What do you guys
stumps?
What do you guys think about team reloading? Because I think even this is one of the few things in the game that encourages teamwork. But I feel like I do it sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you know, occasionally we do it. But I feel like there is obviously a barrier there that a lot of people don't do it.
There's not enough. Like it feels it requires a lot of setup to get team reloading to go up, and a lot of the missions require you to be mobile, right? Like you're going base to base and taking things down. The only time I really see team reloading be utilized is on any defensive operation.
True.
Because there's no like,
yeah, you don't have to move.
You don't have to set up, like you don't have to drop your pack for your teammate. He has to drop his and then, you know, try to find where the E is to grab you because you're on a slanted terrain.
Yeah, the slanted terrain thing is the most annoying. But that to be fair, that's probably not intended. But yeah, that is the most annoying part.
It's just like, I think the overall time you'll see it isn't defensive stuff because there's more reason to like load up someone with an autocannon because the destructive firepower of the autocannon with people reloading it is so much more devastating than if it was to be used in a mobile operation. If you're moving, you want that flexibility of keeping it on you and having it reloaded and in your situations, because if you get blown up by a base cannon and your teammate goes flying away with your ammo pack, it discourages people from wanting to do that because they're like, well, there goes my only ammo source, right? It requires a lot of coordination on those kind of missions, but I think only in defensive operations is where I see it.
Well, you know, something I don't think it's mentioned a lot is like with the team reload, you are losing the entire firepower of one Helldiver when you do it.
Yeah.
So like, even though it is strong, it's not that strong, right? Like 2 recoilless is almost always better in most practical situations compared to a team reloaded one.
Yeah. I think the only situation a team reload recoilless is if like 5 Biotitans are walking at you. Then it's like, okay, team reload is the answer there compared to anything else.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that, like, if you let people just pull the ammo off of your backpack, I think they're worried about that being too strong, but I don't think they quite realize that like you're taking your entire kit out of the fight while you do it. So like I see no reason why you can't just take the ammo out of someone else's backpack. It doesn't make any sense.
I also wonder if just being able to do that would encourage people to stick near the recoilless dude.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's fun watching that happen, you know? There's a reason people play like medics in Battlefield.
Yeah, Battlefield medics are crazy.
They will go out of their way to do anything to revive you from what I remember.
It's super good in that game too, isn't it?
Wow.
Well, it's because it's rewarding. It's fun. Like, you know, you don't have to just get kills to have happy dopamine feelings. Like,
Even changes the tide of the battle, you know?
Yeah, you can completely change the tide of the battle by seeing like, oh crap, there's a bunch of Battle Titans coming, or there's a bot drop coming. I'm going to run to my recoilless guy and team reload him. But like right now, like unless you are coordinated with people on voice, that's just not ever going to happen, you know?
True.
Team reloading, cool, but constricted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the strength of team reloading for almost anyone who's done it for more than once, like it's obviously there. Like especially with autocannon flak or something, it can get insane. But it's like,
and under very specific conditions, like I don't know, automaton patrol in the distance, right?
Yeah, but it's like I don't know. It is something that most people obviously don't do, and it's like I do feel like it's something that would encourage teamwork or just sticking together even, and that would probably just be good for the game, I feel.
You imagine like a miniature version of like the orbital cannon you use on the Illuminate to take down the overship.
Yeah.
It's just like a giant like howitzer cannon that you call down, and it takes like a team to like properly use it or something. That'd be pretty fun.
Dude,
imagine that.
That
Trench
mission
divers?
is one of my favorites though, because when you get 4 people working it, it's so much fun.
And you try to shoot down the Leviathans when they're swimming around. That's awesome.
You know my idea for that mission? They should make it so I don't know exactly how. I don't know, like a Leviathan. A flock of Leviathans show up after you shoot down the overship, and it's like you could just run to extract, but you have 15 Leviathans flying at you, and the orbital cannon 2-shots them. And you still would be able to win the mission solo because you would just run to extract, but you definitely need 2 people working that cannon to use it properly.
Dude, I hate Leviathans so much. Like, I remember
Why?
I told Arrowhead one point that like these are not an enemy; they are a environmental hazard, and they were like, "No, they're not. They're not an enemy at all. Like, they don't try to kill you; they just float around, and then they shoot at you if they can see you. It's dumb."
I don't know, man. They make it feel like an enemy when I'm hiding behind the building, and as soon as I peek my head out, it's gone.
Now, just imagine it's like a volcano that hates you.
Yes, that's what I said day one too. Actually, day one, I was launching myself on top of them. But like after that, I was like, dude, this is a weather effect.
It is. It really is. It's annoying.
I would like,
but them,
you could
go ahead.
I would like them to get reworked more like harvesters, like the harvester health pools. Obviously, a little tankier, but where they have a shield instead of anti-tank armor. And then, because it's like the lasers are way cooler, way more cinematic, way cooler, 10 out of 10 weapon change. But it's like, there's no point of shooting the lasers at all, and there's really no point of shooting Leviathans at all.
It's still just an environmental effect. The volcano looks cool, too.
They look way cooler, at least.
Yeah, they do. It was a good change.
Trav with the dono for Kai. He says, may you ask Kai when he will reveal his true voice as an uwu girl. Just kidding. Glad to see this group of peeps on the podcast. Thank you, Trav. Kai, why do people think you're faking your southern accent?
I don't know, dude. I really have no idea. My only speculation is that in my very first Dark Tide videos, I use my customer service voice because you can't sound like this in professional settings. So maybe that's why.
Do your customer service voice.
Oh God, do I?
Do it. Fake accent.
All right. The coyote needs a nerf.
He still sounds like Kai.
I don't know. It didn't change too much. You know, mine's it's like, hi, welcome to the nursing home. How can I help you guys? You know what I mean? It's like the tone is much different.
I'm like wondering who's asking this too. Like, is it other Southerners just from a different state?
Well, I think what it is most people when they hear a Southern accent, they expect it to sound like Texas, and I'm not from fucking Texas. I'm from Georgia.
Has anyone heard the boys down in Louisiana, bro? Like, it's crazy down there.
Different.
Yeah, way different. No,
I'm more hillbilly than redneck.
Yeah. All right, boys. I think we talked about all the topics we wanted to. Oh, you know what we didn't talk about?
What's that?
Kai, you brought this up when we were talking about this off-stream. Stranglers.
Yes. Having enemies that like. Okay, I have also a big beef with this. In Helldivers, the only threat to you is death, and that is annoying. Like, I would love it if there was more threats. So, like, dude, imagine if there was a special strain of stalker that instead of just killing you, it kidnapped you. Like, that would be cool as hell.
It should be named the literal predator stalker, I guess.
Or like, what if a stalker kidnaps you and tries to kill you by dragging you all the way into the stalker lair, and you die by environment?
Yeah, and then they could add a kill box on the actual stalker hole, so when it pulls you in there, you just die. Like, that would be awesome. Because also, like, imagine they go invisible and they just see your ragdolling body taken away.
They grab you like, and you're just screaming for your life.
Do you think that would actually work in this game, though?
I do think it would. I mean, like, okay, like from a technical side, no. I have no idea if they'd actually be able to implement that. But like, from
no. I mean, gameplay.
I do think it would work. I mean, like, I think it would take some getting used to. There'd probably be some fine tuning that needs to happen. But also, like, it kind of fits in the lore. Like, think about like the bots. How do you think they get people into the smoothie machines? Right? Give them like an electrified net or something.
That's true. No,
right?
we need berserkers with gripper arms.
Automatons that drag you into the blender is crazy.
I mean, that'd be fun.
That's true. They do have to get people into the blender somehow, right?
It's like a sprinting variant of like the Scout Strider with long grippy arms, and it grabs you with like the extendo grip and runs off.
Also, like, dude, from a content perspective, imagine the shorts. Right? It's
that's true.
When Helldivers turn into voice actors, like, I would be screaming if I got kidnapped by a stalker or being pulled into the blender.
Your teammate tells you check the corner, you get grabbed, like, oh! That'd be terrifying.
Like, oh God, save me!
Help me!
See, I wonder if, like, I don't know if that would work for bots because they already ragdoll you so much. So it's like, do we need to add stranglers on bots?
See, for the bots, they should add sound weapons that fire and knock you over at farther ranges.
Okay,
That's
buddy.
what they should add there.
Maybe
Insta ragdoll cannon.
Maybe that could be a thing for the squids.
Yeah. It could be, I don't really care what faction they put it on, but like, I do think that having effects on you that are not ragdolling or death, because ragdolling is only really frustrating because it leads to deaths that you can't avoid. I think it'd be good for the game. Like, imagine like there's on the Illuminate, there's like blinding grenades that flashbang you for a second or two. Like, or, they kidnap you and turn you into a voteless. Like that would, imagine
turn you into a voteless would be crazy.
That would be so cool because like, then they need and then your friends have to see your dead body looking at them. Like,
no. Then they need to add a like a medium voteless that's like has a Helldiver helmet and a Peacemaker.
Yeah, dude.
But then whatever gun you had equipped, the voteless has it.
I was thinking of like for the automatons, I had a really like fun idea. So like in Star Wars, they have the battle droids, and they're pretty dopey. But they also created the commando like battle droids, which were way more dangerous for like a clone trooper to fight because they got like these ninja acrobatic stuff. I was thinking like, imagine if the automatons started trying to do like mimicry, and they tried to recreate like their own version of a Helldiver. And you imagine like you're playing a normal mission. And this like knockoff like ship warps overhead, and it's sort of like an objective that you have to kill those automaton units to finish the mission, right? Like they act as like something that gets in the way, and they function very similar to how Helldivers move. They dive, they run mock-ups of current weapons we have. Like imagine one of them hits you with like a recoilless, just something. I don't know. I feel like that'd be such a cool way for them to implement like a challenge, right?
See,
and you have to kill them.
That's how I thought Leviathans would work. I thought, like, because the Stingray is the Squid Eagle one, I thought Leviathans would be the Squid Orbital. And it's like they would throw stratagems from their Leviathans. And it's like, I don't know, maybe there was like one super Leviathan floating around that the other squids could all...
like a commanding carrier, right?
Yeah, they could any overseer could throw a stratagem. Only one at a time. But it's like... I don't know. Maybe they had different stratagems. If you're in a mech, they throw rocket pods at you.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be so crazy.
And then you could
even like zombified Helldivers. I'd love to see on the vote list side.
Yeah. What about with stranglers in this game? If you could still shoot and control your character, but you just weren't able to turn around and aim at the strangler. So maybe there could be a counterplay where you like set off a stun grenade in your hand. So that way
your hell bomb.
Yeah. So that way there's still some ways to deal with it solo, but it's not necessarily like there's no way to deal with it.
You activate the hell bomb while it carries you back to the
Yeah.
Witness me.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Because then you could like even blow up the nest like right before you get dragged to your death. Like hell bomb them.
Even with integrated explosive, I think that'd be enough to just like close it, right?
That actually might even be like easier for them to code because then they don't have to have you like swarming around ragdoll in this weird janky hitbox. They could just have it so you can only move backwards and you don't get to control where you go.
Yeah, and just make sure you're positioned so you can't literally shoot the strangler. You would have to bring something like a stun grenade or a hell bomb backpack.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, how would that work with a guard dog? Would your guard dog just kill them every time?
Probably, yeah. The guard dog would probably start shooting at them, like, "Oh, I got you." But I'd also be terrified of the guard
dog. That would be like a soft loadout check, though. Someone in chat said, "Isn't that a loadout check?" That would be a soft loadout check because the alternative is not letting you do anything and fully rely on your teammates.
Yeah,
and they have that in Deep Rock as well, where they have the stranglers, but there's the perk you can take where you get the early warning.
Yeah, and I mean, like, think about like with stalkers, they make the chittering noise. They would just give them an audio cue like that, so you know they're there.
True,
right?
Yeah.
So like, they wouldn't just be like automatically grabbing you. You'd have chances to fight back, and I really like the idea of letting you shoot forward or like stun grenade or even like grenade launcher shot or something to like stim your, like grenade launcher shot. Maybe you have heavy armor, explosive resistance, you survive. Like, there's a lot of ways you can get out of that.
Imagine like a very obvious attack that they're about to do it, right? Also,
if they grab you, just overcharge your epoch.
yeah, you can do a lot of stuff.
Where democracy protects and gamble. It's my favorite thing to do.
Shad with the $5. Thank you, Shad. It says, imagine if the flesh mob can grab you and tries to absorb you into its mass. Or if the harvester full-on War on Worlds grabs you. Oh, like they just kidnap you? Also, what if impalers could grab you and then you have to kill the impaler or shoot the tentacle?
See, imagine like the harvester grabbing you. It pulls you
actually, like,
where would you go?
There's a laser.
Where would you go?
Hang on, this just made me realize if you can shoot your gun and they're just pulling you back, you can still use stratagems.
Yeah, you can
throw down a sentry. Like there's a lot of ways you could deal with that.
Yeah,
or even just orbital napalm yourself.
Yeah, yeah, you could. Or maybe there would be a way to like flip around and strafing run yourself.
Mm-hmm. Also, it'd be really funny if the bullet dog just had like a 50-50 chance of just shooting you. You know?
I saved you from suffering.
All right, and then we got 5 from Oren. I'm curious. Thank you, Oren. I'm curious about your thoughts if armor passives need a rework and how would you implement it? Also about boosters, because we have the meta on it at the moment. So that's a big topic. Of course, some armor passives need a rework. What do you mean specifically, though? Like passives or just like light, medium, heavy?
I think it might be passive related.
I think they're talking about the passives because, like,
I wish for example, electrical conduit, it provides 95 resistance to arc, right? I wish that it like amplified your arc damage, right? If you got hit by something arc related,
arc armor is the worst armor set in the game because it's only
nothing you have to worry about.
Yeah, it's only useful for not getting killed by your own teammates. Like
and
passive.
I feel like, and even in the light variant, if you're wearing the light armor of it, you're not gonna like survive a harvester point blanking you. I think that your health is gonna be pretty low, but like, what are you gonna do after the follow up?
I think what I would say in terms of this, because this is like, we could get into every armor passive ever. In terms of how I kind of wish armor passives worked, was more so that there was better combos and builds rather than a lot of armors feel like band-aids. Like if you don't want to deal with this, take this. If you don't want to deal with this, take this. So like what I would do to arc armor would make it so you're immune to EMS, because that would open up an interesting build path where it's like I'm gonna
hide in your EMS.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring EMS mortar and run through it. Obviously, would that be the most powerful build ever? Is that the best example? Probably not. But that's more so how I wish they worked. That it was like this armor lets you do this unique thing with this other thing. I like combos and builds.
Yeah, I feel like armor sets in general should enhance something that you already have rather than just giving you these like problem solving things. You know, like grenade armor, it gives you more grenades, but like shouldn't that also make your throw range further? Wouldn't that make sense? Because
I don't even wear the armors for their passive. I'm primarily a drip diver at this point.
Yeah, because they don't matter that much. Like there's very niche situations where armor passives actually matter. I think they also mentioned boosters, and I think we can all collectively agree the whole booster system just sucks.
So one thing I'll say, obviously there's just a lot of boosters, like pretty much all the sample ones that just become useless after a certain point. But this is one of my difficulty topics is modifiers. Like I almost feel like there should be like a diff 11 that's just a carbon copy of diff 10, but it's 1 reinforce per player rather than 20. That would simply make you work as a team more. Because it's really easy to beat a game of Helldivers. It's hard to never die. Unless you're just running the whole time. But in general. And then also, a 1 reinforce mode would instantly change the booster meta. Hellpot optimization is no longer taken. Because you're not reinforcing all the time. And both the reinforcement boosters would instantly become good.
Dude, this is something this is the reason I decided to make a video on difficulties, because I saw the fucking developers say that they were basically scared to make a level 11 because they knew people wouldn't receive it.
You gotta put your foot down.
Well, dude, my thought is that, like, look, Helldivers has a weird culture that, like, everyone thinks that they have to play on the highest difficulty. Or at least, a lot of people do. Like, there's a lot, I think most players play on 7s, but, like, there's a lot of people that play 10s that, like, really shouldn't be playing 10s.
I think 7 is most popular and 10 is second most popular.
Yeah, and that's weird. That's really weird. That's not how
Sorry,
other games work.
Which one was most popular?
7.
7?
Yeah, 7's the most popular.
Not 6?
Not 6, it's 7. I hate you, dude. I hate you so much.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
The most.
All right.
Oh my god.
We're gonna have to axe Gundam Boy for the rest of the show.
Yep.
There he goes. There he goes.
Out of here. Just goodbye.
So my comment about you guys being Zoomers was not wrong. Except Kai, not Kai. He's Unk status like me.
Yep. What were we talking about before this dipshit chimed in?
Boosters. Oh, no. The dev said they're scared to make level 11.
Yeah. Oh, so my idea with level 11 is that, like, it should, like, okay, unless they change something with samples, like, I do not give a shit about samples anymore. So, like, if I want a mode where they just take out all the currencies, no medals, no samples, no nothing, just pure ball crushing difficulty. I think that would keep people from trying it too much. Because I think the reason a lot of people that play 10s that shouldn't are there is because they feel like that's the way to get the most rewards. You get the most experience, you get the most samples collected, like potential.
Experience is the main one right now, but yeah.
Yeah. But like, if that was not the case, then they wouldn't have that incentive to be there. So, like, if Arrowhead is scared of making a level 11 because they don't think people will enjoy the challenge of it, then give the veterans a reason to play it, like, accolades or more liberation score or whatever. Doesn't matter.
North Korean general medals.
Yeah, North Korean general medals, like that kind of thing. But take out all the monetary rewards. Because, like, again, that's how Dark Tide does it. There is no reason to run Havoc 40 other than titles. That's it. So most people in Dark Tide just play level 5, which is like on level 7 on Helldivers. That's the equivalent.
I think this is a little bit why there should be a better gradient up the difficulties, so that when you try to implement difficulty for level 10, it doesn't affect level 7 and vice versa. Like, for example, remember when Capture the Flag first came out on bots?
Yeah.
That shit was fucking badass. And you needed a couple members of the squad there, okay? I don't
Yeah,
think
you weren't following that.
I don't know how many of those games I played. I'm sure if I tried hard enough, I probably could have soloed it eventually. But when it was here, I never soloed that in a 4-man. We had to have, bro. There were 3 of us there, and we were dying nonstop. Like, but that was also happening on level 7. It was also happening on level 5, probably. So it's like when people complain about that, it's like it's just gone for everyone now. Same with bugged patrols. Did we already talk about this already? On bugged patrols,
I don't think so.
On bugged patrols, that was happening on everything. And even on Diff 10, if you're queuing up solo and you don't want to play bugged patrols, you should be able to not do that. But how is that not a modifier? Because I think it would be really fun for me to be like, yo, Kai, you want to go do duo 4-man difficulty? Or yo, Gundam,
Yeah,
you want to play some duos with bugged patrols? Like, shouldn't that be a modifier?
I think so, yeah. Or just like its own difficulty, level 11.
Yeah.
You know? Like level 11 just removes the cap from duo onward. Like duos get the same spawn as 4.
Yeah. Now, this is a more, what's the right word? A more theoretical idea would be to add a level 11 that essentially had a rotating meta, that it's like, okay, this is the sort of experimental difficulty. The devs are going to have more fun just changing things up constantly once a month. Because I feel like for a casual audience, it feels bad to log back in after a couple months and like now the flamethrower's gutted, or this is gone, or this is here. But like on level 11, it's like, oh, well, we're doing experimental. Like this month, assault rifles have double the spare mags, but the shotguns, they do half the damage. Or like recoilless rifle sucks this patch, but stalwart has AP3. And it's like, if there was like a rotating sort of balance changes on like a diff 11, or just like different things they could experiment with to the whole community, because then they could even say like, oh, this change was really good, or like, and then like put it on the other difficulties at that point.
I like the idea of making that modifiers. Like, you know, you could have it be like expired ordnance, recoilless rifle does 50% less damage, you know, something like that. But if they do that too much, it's going to draw people to the new difficulty because they're going to want to try the new stuff. And that's kind of the problem, is like we want to keep people out of difficulty 11 that don't explicitly want to be there for the challenge, you know?
Well, that's true, but I also feel like there's that expectation where, since it's rotating, there's that expectation that this is for trying out the craziest stuff. Okay, if you don't like something on this difficulty this month, go back to level 10, go back to level 7 or whatever.
Oh, they could do it like Deep Rock does it, where it's, you know, the deep dives.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could have
deep
something
dive
like
system
that.
would be really cool. Oh, that's actually a good idea too. So for anyone who doesn't play Deep Rock, the deep dives is a series of 3 missions that scale harder and harder. And as soon as you queue in, you have to do them all, and it's shared resources throughout them all. So like, if there was I guess the only way that applies to Helldivers is reinforces. Like, you get 20 reinforces for the whole operation.
I mean, you could limit stratagem use too. I mean, like, you know, you only get X call-ins of X stratagem. You don't have to. You could, though.
Yeah, that could be a way to do it.
But I mean, I don't think that mechanic is like necessarily what makes or breaks the deep dive thing, but like the scaling difficulty and the being locked to that operation until you finish it, that would be cool.
Yeah. Well, a strat limit could be fine in a Helldivers deep dive, because it would be like, you know, the first mission, number one, is easier than the last mission, so you try to save them up for the last mission. But I think it could be fine in that sort of thing.
Actually, that would be a really cool way to have the game flow, Will, because then it's like early on you rely on your primaries, grenades, and all that stuff, and then you save your stratagems for when it gets really hard.
Yeah. These are the more experimental ideas. And hey, if you only had 20 reinforces in a deep dive, people would bring the reinforce booster. I'm just saying.
That's true. No, that is true.
You'd see people bring that more often.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, like, if you had more diverse threats that weren't just death, you might see more like, motivational shocks or something. Like, give us a reason to take boosters that are not the 4 or 5.
Did you say add another giant lake in the middle of the map that you have to traverse?
I was about to say, give us the booster that lets us swim.
Yeah.
We would have all brought that to Oshak Hennessy.
Yep.
You guys are going to watch that clip later, right?
Sure,
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
Do you know that one cave inside it where the path leads to just like that straight path of water? I got caught in one of those, and there was like a wall of stalkers on both sides.
I don't think I've ever
There's nowhere
seen
to run.
water in the cave.
There's a specific
On the
route
hive lung
where-
part. On the hive lung part, there's water. That if you fall in it, you can't get out. So you just die.
It's
No, not the kill barrier. There's like this weird bridge that is destructible. So if you try to walk like the Emancipator over, it will fall into its doom. But you can cross that bridge, and if you go through it, there is a straight path of water. That is a death trap hallway.
That's what I meant. You would drown. Like, it wouldn't just instantly kill you, but you would drown, and I couldn't.
No, you don't. You can walk through it. It's just like the ankle high water that slows you down.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of something different then.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about though. That bridge.
Yeah,
where
that was the way
you cross into it.
That was one of our run enders in my Hive Lord 100 series where we were trying to kill 100 of them. I fell in the water and died, and I couldn't reinforce it.
Dude, the freaking vents on Repel Invasion. Why are those vents open on that mission? It's like, you don't...
Vents?
Yeah, on Repel Invasion, they open the vents and if you to the sewer, and if you fall in, you die.
Oh, yeah, that's weird.
That mech, I lost so many mechs on that planet, dude. Like,
bro, they're not open on the normal missions. Only that one.
That's a OSHA violation right there. That should have been closed.
Maybe
was that bugged? Was that bugged, or you think that was on purpose?
No, it was open. They're just open on that mission, bro.
Was it out of spite? You think it was probably out of spite, just for us?
Yeah.
It's the sewer. You just fall right in, get mauled by rats immediately.
Yeah. All right, boys. I think this was a good talk. We covered a broad range of topics. We've been going for 2.5 hours.
Yes.
So I appreciate you boys coming. If you guys ever wanted to do it again, or if any of you guys are ever down for some Oops All Stalkers games, let me know.
Yes.
That could be fun. Yeah, dude, no, I've enjoyed this, and I really do think that this kind of a discussion is good because we can actually hash things out, whereas, in a video format, we have specific things that we're talking about. We can only present one perspective, but having a podcast where we can actually discuss things and come up with new ideas is good. I think it's good for the community too.
Yeah, bouncing ideas off each other is always good.
Yeah, it's good to be flexible and allow. It shows that you don't have to, act very wildly towards, other people. We can encourage that through stuff like this.
Well, also, I mean, like the whole, Pride Divers versus Fun Slop Tubers thing. Like, the meme is funny, but like, I think people think it past the meme sometimes, and it's kind of dumb.
See, listen,
I'm just learning about this one. This is a
listen,
new one for
Gundam.
me.
This is a battle that has been raging since Helldivers came out. Okay, ever since the first railgun and breaker nerf.
Yeah. I started my
you guys
video
got
thing
caught
around
in the
like
crossfire.
the Truth Enforcers, so it's like seeing a lot of the people acting the way they do it. I don't know. It's kind of funny. In my opinion, I think
Listen,
it's pretty good.
You don't get it, bro. Like 18 months ago, someone called me a cry diver, okay, and it's been war ever since. That's what I'm saying.
Someone called me a glazer because I said it very clearly. Personally, I like this weapon, and then they're like glazer.
Dude, I get people call
I
me
didn't even know
glaze diver in all of my videos. There's at least a few comments. Like
that
every
is
time.
not what I thought glazer meant either. Like my initial definition of it, first impression is like, why are people saying I'm nutting on stuff? It's like, what? What do you mean I'm a nut diver? And they're like, no, it's not what it is. You're a glaze diver. It's like, okay, that doesn't elaborate on what you just said, though. So, it was pretty good.
It is what it is. Stuff happens in love and war.
Yep. Oh, I will say, before we wrap up, y'all, like, difficulty, I know it sounds like kind of an arbitrary internet argument thing, but, like, this is what makes games fun. Like, as long as there's a scale of difficulty where everyone, like, of different skill levels can enjoy the game through overcoming a challenge, that's why gaming is fun. Otherwise, everybody just be playing cookie clicker. You know, there's just no skill involved at all. You're just sitting there clicking a button. But
there's
because...
not a skill with that. Take that back.
Shut up, Gundam. But if there is like actual difficulty that evolves with you, and as the game progresses, things get harder, that's what keeps you engaged. It's how like every video game ever has worked that has had a long lifespan, you know, with the exception of like a few multiplayer games like CSGO. But like World of Warcraft, for example, that game fucking died as soon as they took difficulty out of the game. When everyone could take on any raid, the game just tanked. And so, like, that's why this is important. You know, even if you are not personally planning on playing level 11 or whatever the next hardest thing is, it's important for the ecosystem of the game. You have to keep the veterans happy because they're your most hardcore players, and you have to keep the casuals happy because they make the team money, you know. And also, they deserve to have fun. So that's my closing thoughts, I would suppose.
Yeah, and to add to that, the core of a game is you have these tools. Go overcome this challenge. Like, that's the core of any video game. Any game. Like name a game. It has a challenge in it. So, yeah, it just comes down to how do you implement the challenge in a fun and engaging and thoughtful way. And what is some, like, stuff... Like Kai said earlier, you shouldn't always be 100% averse to any nerf whatsoever. I think in this community people are because they don't like basically any of the nerfs that Arrowhead has done. But, you know, take it beyond that as well. Because there were some nerfs that I thought were fine. To name one, the very, very first Eruptor nerf. I noticed the damage fell off, but that was before they removed the shrapnel. When they removed the shrapnel, I was like, okay, now it's on. You know what I mean? But like the very, very first one, like it was fine. And I noticed the weapon was weaker, but it still felt very strong. I could still one-tap Devastators in the armpits, and I was cool with it.
Yeah, dude. And I mean, like, if we don't allow any nerfs in the community, like if we always have this freaking reaction where we just think that Arrowhead personally hates us and is going to shoot our dog, like, they can't give us anything that's actually cool, unique, and strong. Because if they make it too powerful, then they can't nerf it, or they have to nerf it in like a weird, convoluted way that's bad for the health of the game. Whereas, like, you know, Coyote, for example, it's picked too much, but does it need to actually change its stats at all? No. Like, they could have nerfed that by just making the mag smaller and then making an attachment for it. You know what I mean? Like, there's times when nerfs are good.
I think the other thing as well, to say on the flip side as well, is it's like, sometimes when we ask for a buff Arrowhead, we just wanted we want a buff, bro. We don't want another downside that came alongside of it. So it's like, it definitely goes both ways.
You don't need to take the worst gun in the game, give it a damage buff, and then make it way worse at range. Like, that's not a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, bro.
Oh, we took away pistol sway, but you only get 2 mags now. It's just like, Then I might as well just bring the ultimatum at this point.
For sure. But yeah, we gotta be open to all, we gotta be open to all possibilities and talk about everything, because it's like, you know, we have to talk about nerfs because there probably is some stuff that can be over the line sometimes, realistically. Because it's like, there are certain things that people could do in random matchmaking that might take away fun from someone else.
Yep.
I just wish the communication with Arrowhead was more clear, because that's where a lot of this like anxiety I think comes from, right? Whenever an update comes around the corner, because it's always like, A, what did they break now? B, what did they ruin, right? Because that's what I'm pretty sure everybody is under the impression of whenever an update's coming around the corner. If they announce it, it's like in the past you could probably be excited for it, but I think now it's more like, uh-oh.
Oh God, what did they fuck up this time?
It's my favorite game to play. When an update comes out, what's broken now? I look around and I look pretty damn well, and I can tell you, I've seen a lot of bugs. I put them a lot in my videos. I watched someone get humped to death by a factory strider. He couldn't avoid that. There was no dodging it. It flew so fast. All I could do was watch.
I saw a crazy factory strider clip today. I'll see if I can find it. I'll send it to you later.
Yeah, that'd be badass. I need to see it. Poor guy. Poor man.
But all right, boys, we could cut it off there. Thank you guys for coming on. And anyone in chat, if you don't already follow Kai or Gundam Boy, go do it. I believe I have their YouTube linked in the title, so it should be easily accessible. But all right, thank you, Kai.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, dude. It was fun.
And thank you, Mr. Gundam Boy.
Thank you, Vic. It was great. And I even got Kai to say 6'7" on accident.
I'm shooting you the next time we play. Right in the face.
You're going to see the senator.
You are going to see the senator.
Is there a flag I can follow first?
We'll see. Might throw it off a cliff. All right, yeah, y'all. I'm going to tip out. I got to go work on this video. But y'all take care. Show Thick some love. Like the stream. All that good stuff.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to see more of his content.
Hell yeah. And I'll be waiting for your guys' next videos to react to.
Yeah, mine might cause some drama. We'll see.
Oh, that's a good thing. We like drama.
Like the M90.
Oh, I'm dying on that hill, dude. I've already picked my grave.
Maybe that should be the next podcast. Kai versus Thick Fillet M90.
That'd be great.
All right, boys. Well, I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good one.
GG's.
Bye.
All right, chat. I am gonna end this stream. So, but I'm about to stream. But I'm gonna end this stream, so I could just leave it public and live. And wait, let me set up the other stream so I could raid myself. Hold on. Don't leave. I'm sending you a different link, a new link. Hold on, chat. Stay. Hope to see you three in another one. Yeah, probably. All right, get rid of that. Get rid of that. All right, here's the link. I'm about to just stream again right now. So let's see if I can raid myself. Also, I'll go live on Twitch for any of the Twitch viewers. It's just that I'm streaming off of OBS. Or I'm streaming off my Streamlabs OBS instead of regular, so I couldn't multi-stream. Alright, chat. I'll see you in a minute. Go to the other stream. See ya.